This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
There it is.
There it is. No, there we are.
There we are.
Here we are.
On the screen.
Here you are.
On that screen.
Another Geek Pants Camcast.
Number 177.
Following our monumental Camcast. The live stream.
That was crazy.
Craziness. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, a lot of work.
All the winners have their prizes now. They're all very happy.
Good. Jared, I got your prize. So I will touch base with you and we'll figure out when to do the drop.
Chris has a big box.
I got a big box for you, buddy.
Full of goodies.
It's a full box.
Full box of goodies.
So yeah, Camcast, and if you didn't see the trailer or the heads up one notification, we are talking about seminal classic, The Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
But first, we have a little bit of wrestling talk. Just a little bit of wrestling talk. Just because things have happened, and they're kind of interesting. They're actually very interesting.
They're interesting.
Very interesting. So the first one that is very cool, and it actually did kind of surprise me because the way it went down with the first signing was Jade Cargill officially signs with WWE.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was surprising because when she first went there, because she was a hot prospect.
She was there, what, 2 years?
I think 3, actually.
Was it 3?
It might be 2.
And she spent almost the entire time holding a championship.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yeah. They Goldberged her.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And she got better.
Yeah.
Because she was pretty green when she came in. She's just a natural athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking looks like a superhero. They've been saying that all the time, but she looked like a fucking superhero. But anyway, so she was a hot prospect. AEW wanted her, Impact wanted her, WWE wanted her. WWE wanted her so bad that they came at her with a low fucking offer, and they said you can't have any sponsors. And she's like, "What do you mean I can't have a sponsor? I have sponsors right now." And they're like, "Yeah, not anymore."
So she had sponsors due to her athletics, or like Twitch streams, or like what she do?
I can't remember exactly, but she had sponsors through, I think, modeling or some other.
Okay.
You know what? Screw it. I've got Wikipedia.
Screw it.
But she had.
So that's the first time I've ever heard that really being a issue, like someone coming in with sponsors.
Oh, that's because they don't want you to come in with sponsors. They want you to be beholden to them.
And then it's okay for guys like Logan Paul to come in there and drink Prime all over the place.
But that's a different story, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
also,
okay.
at the time, Logan Paul was a bigger name than Jade Cargill.
Right.
And you could argue that Logan Paul is still a bigger name than Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But they weren't. They wanted to fucking undercut her.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
Plus, she's a woman, right?
And she's a woman of color. And
a woman of color.
You know how Vince loves those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait. He doesn't. So basically just Jacksonville University graduate with social science degree where she played basketball, was named the Atlantic Sun preseason.
Good for her.
I don't really know where she's got her. Hold on. Yeah, actually, it doesn't really say. Husband's a Cincinnati Reds second baseman, so, you know.
No.
Owner of Texas Smoke, the 4th franchise of women's professional fast pitch. Okay. All right. Regardless, she came in. She didn't need the WWE.
No.
And that was the thing. That was the biggest thing, is they want people to need them.
Right.
if you're going to be on the roster full time,
yeah,
they want you to not do anything else. They want you to basically be like, but please, I'll do whatever you want for your paycheck. And they're like, okay, peasant. So they said no to all your. They're all done now. And I think she's in an interview and she's mentioned something about how Brock Lesnar has some sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Because you remember, Punk actually had sponsors.
Yeah.
And WWE was like, you can't have sponsors. And he was like, why? That's like more money for us boys. And the answer was, well, it's more money for you guys and not for us.
That's for us.
Okay. So, to say that Twitch thing, they were like, it's great that you're making money during COVID, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're not making those Twitch dollars. And, you look like a wrestler that we signed. So anyway.
That's dumb as shit.
So they said no to that. Oh, yeah. And by the way, when Brock Lesnar came back and he had sponsors, Punk was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Are you kidding me? Anyway, so they said no to all that shit. And she's like, okay, see you later. And they were, like I said in the kitchen, they were like, what do you mean you're not going to sign this bullshit contract? Yeah. I don't understand why you wouldn't. And then she signed with AEW, and AEW pushed her perfectly. Like, I honestly don't think they did anything wrong by her at all. Even the fact that she went so long without losing, if she wasn't getting any better, because it's the same with Goldberg.
Yeah. Like,
green as grass when he first started out, and the only time it looked obvious like he was green as grass is when he was wrestling Steve Regal. Yeah. And I know Steve is going to tell you that he didn't do it on purpose. He fucking totally did it on purpose. And if anything, he might say someone told him to do that. I think at the very end of the day, he might go, well, I was told to do that. No. No one sat there and said, no, you wrestle a 10-minute competitive match with Goldberg and you make him look like a joke. No. And that match is brutal to watch. Oh, I watched it a couple of times.
I watched it way back in the day.
I watched it a couple of times in the last little while. Like, because every once in a while I go to revisit it because it's always interesting and it's blatantly obvious. Like, it's obvious because it's so because he's like trying to drop toe hold Goldberg, and you can tell that A, no one's drop toe holded him, or B, no one told him that's one of the moves that we do. Yeah. And finally, C, they were like, don't fucking do that to Goldberg. He's going to eat you up. Don't mat wrestle Goldberg. Yeah. Why? But anyway.
That's not what Goldberg does.
So now the interesting part for me, though, is that Khan was like, Tony Khan from AEW was like, here's my offer for you to stay. And she's like, I think I deserve a little bit more. Right?
Yeah.
So he goes, okay, here's yours that you wanted. And then some. And then a week later, she signed with WWE.
So they must have really threw money at her.
She played the game.
Mm-hmm.
She sat there and said, hey, they're offering me this. Oh, and by the way, my sponsors, I never lost them. I have more now.
Nice. That's awesome.
And Tony was great, too, because he was just like, she signed with them like a week later. She said she signed with them. I said, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good for everything. And then she went out losing the last two matches of her career. She went out on her back.
Yeah.
And he said, I wish her nothing but the best. They did nothing to bury her at all. They still presented her like a big fucking deal. Because at the end of the day, Tony Khan's not stupid. Okay. It's the same thing with Cody Rhodes. We don't know what's going to happen in 3 years or 4 years or however long this contract is.
Yep.
Cody could very easily go right back to AEW after he's done, especially if he doesn't win that title at WrestleMania 40.
Oh, yeah. If he returned just to get fucked around again.
And Jade Cargill, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Like, when they talked about, there was 1 week where I think I heard 1 or 2 rumors of that she was going to be debuted on NXT. And immediately I was like, you do that, you fucking kill her.
Mm-hmm.
You cut her off of the knees. That's the most bullshit thing ever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, then there was like, well, she might be on Raw, she might be on SmackDown. But the second that she was signed, and they were like, we got Jade Cargill. She's a fucking superhero. I was like, okay, yeah, she's main roster.
Oh, main roster.
She should.
They let her keep her name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the other thing.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I saw other names floating around. Like, why?
Opal.
Yeah. Opal.
Or whatever other color you can come up with.
Oh, man.
They might have called her, Ebony. Anyway.
I hope she ends up on Raw.
I really, I like the idea of her ending up on Raw and working with Lashley and the Street Profits. And I honestly think what's going to happen is, because they are teasing a split up now
with Lashley,
and the Street Profits. Yeah. I think it's going to be one of those things where she's going to show up and tie them all together.
Yeah.
And it'll be similar to the Judgment Day, where it was just kind of like it became complete when Rhea showed up.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get a new name. I think they'll still call themselves the Street Profits because there's still branding in that name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the actual faction itself, like, it's not going to be the Hurt Business 2.0. It's going to be a whole new name. And hopefully it's a good one, although the last couple team names they've been doing have been pretty good, like the Bloodline, the Judgment Day. Like, these are all fairly good names. So I am pumped. I'm absolutely pumped, and I'm happy for her. I'm through the moon. I am worried for some of the other talent. Like, it is promising that she's immediately going to potentially going to get into a feud with Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reasons are that I'm a little bit more hopeful for this than anything else is, for one, it keeps Charlotte away from the fucking title.
She'd have to be on SmackDown then.
No. The brand split is there, but it's not necessarily there. I mean, how many times have you seen the Bloodline on Raw and on SmackDown?
Yeah, well, that was the Bloodline.
Right? But hold on. And what about the Judgment Day? How many times have you seen them on Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah.
And then you can say that. But it's a Judgment Day, right? So it doesn't...
I get those, though, because they had to take titles for both shows.
But it doesn't necessarily matter in that sense.
Judgment Day is actually on NXT every week, too. Like, fucking, they're killing it.
Well, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch, too. Wow, I mean, Dom. 2-time.
And Asuka.
2-time. 2-time.
2-time.
Well, this one was just because they were going head-to-head with.
Yeah.
So they had to do one week of just crush them. But it's like, yeah, but you had to fucking bend over backwards to crush them. That's a regular Tuesday for them. What's that line in Street Fighter? For you, it was the most significant day in your life. For me, it was just another Tuesday. And you're like, thank you, M. Bison.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for putting it all into perspective. So, yes, I am a little hesitant because Charlotte's Charlotte.
Yeah.
And they have a tendency to book Charlotte like she's Roman Reigns. But in, like, worse, though. Like, at least with heel Reigns, he's cheating. He's, like, almost crying like he's going to lose. Like, things like that. Like, there's heel moments, chicken shit heel moments. Whereas she's just fucking John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Like, taking on the Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
Getting fucking suplexed onto concrete and going like, is that all?
No big deal.
Is that all you got? I don't know if you know this, but my father is Ric Flair.
The only plus of putting her up against Charlotte is to keep Charlotte away from the title.
Exactly. So it keeps but there's actually a few more. Keeps Charlotte away from the title.
Yep.
It also puts Jade Cargill in the ring with one of the best wrestlers that they have on the roster, male or female.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
I'm like, I don't like how Charlotte's pushed. I really don't. But I don't hate Charlotte. And I know it sounds like I do, but I don't. And she is fucking good in the ring.
Yeah, it makes sense. You can not hate the wrestler, but hate the booking.
Oh, yeah. For the longest time, I hated the booking of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Didn't hate Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what is he going to do? Sorry, guys. I don't deserve the push you're giving me. Could you put me back at the fucking front of the line?
Right to the bottom, please.
I want to work my way up the top.
In fact, here's some money back. I don't deserve it.
Yeah, exactly. You're paying me 2.5 mil? Why don't you pay me 1.5 mil?
Yeah. Okay?
And then when I earn the 2.5, I'll let you know. Like, fuck that shit.
I want to work a few more months a year, too.
But anyway, but that's it. So that's my only hesitance is that and then the other part is Bianca Belair. I do think Bianca Belair is far too talented to just immediately be pushed to the wayside. But at the same time, we're also talking about a bunch of old white guys who barely view anyone that's not white as anything other than subpar. And if you've got Jade Cargill, who's a way more bigger name than Bianca Belair, which is unfortunate, but it's true, they might go, yeah, it's like that meme, right? Like, but, you know, we've got Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill, and it's like, yeah, but we have it at home, and it's like Bianca Belair, which I feel bad saying, you know, but
yeah,
you know, but I do,
You know, she held that title for a year. So, I mean...
I love her. I think she's
I love it too,
talented.
But it's hard for me to say that. Who's to say they won't still give her a push? I mean,
well, there's
the same people that allowed that to happen.
Well, it's hard not to sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard not to, and I think she was one of those ones where, like, I mean, she fucking took everything they threw at her, and made it work. And made it work on her own terms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's one of the few that was like, I'm not saying this ghetto shit. I don't talk like that. And not all black people talk like that. So that's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm not saying that fucking shit. And they came back and they're like, you gotta say this shit. And she's like, I'm not fucking saying that shit. And then finally, what happened? She didn't fucking say that shit. So I give her props for that.
Yep.
I don't think it's as scary as some of the people online has made it sound. Because it's not like Jade Cargill's coming in with a giant ego. No. It's not like Tessa Blanchard. If Tessa Blanchard was hired, I think that would have been worse.
Yeah.
Because things might have changed now because she hasn't been doing much in the last couple of years because everyone's like, we don't want to fucking work with you. So she may have been humbled in that regard. Maybe. Which is a shame because she was fucking talented. Money, like super money. But anyway. So I don't think it's going to be that situation. I mean, hell, fuck the matches those two can have.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that'd be awesome. Oh, it'll happen. I'm looking forward to it.
And then, unless you have anything else to say about Jade.
No, no.
And then, of course, Adam Copeland! Yay! Weird. It's weird. But it's a yay for me.
I'm not going to lie. I watched everything from Dynamite last night.
And?
I loved it, but I still can't get over how fucking weird it feels. I don't know if I'll ever get over how fucking weird it feels.
That promo, though, with Christian?
The promo was great, but you know what? I don't know. I feel like go fuck yourself is the wrong thing to say. I felt there was zero power to that.
Okay.
I just feel that. I don't know. Like, I think AEW, and it's not even the Edge stuff. I felt this since AEW started, that, like, the language is going to keep them from ever getting to WWE's heights.
I disagree. The language helped them in the Attitude Era.
They never dropped F-bombs.
Yes, they did. Not uncensored ones, but they dropped F-bombs.
I don't recall. Who dropped F-bomb? Oh, DX?
DX and DX Austin.
Did he?
And The Rock.
All that. It's a long time ago, though.
That's right. To be fair.
Yeah, we're old.
And yeah, so yeah, we are. We are. But yeah, so it wasn't as prevalent. Like, it's not like every week. It was every like once in a blue moon you'd get an F-bomb. It wasn't like it wasn't like Moxley bleeding. It definitely wasn't like Moxley bleeding.
I'm always going to call him Edge too. I don't care. I don't care if he's Adam Cole. I'm always going to say Edge.
I thought that Omega shit was kind of funny.
I didn't see that part.
Omega was just like, no, I've been watching this from the edge of my seat. It is fucking ridiculous that he can't call himself Edge anywhere else but the WWE.
What? I mean, they own.
I know.
It's crazy they don't have the trademark for Radar Superstar.
Yeah.
That was so cool. When he came out, they're like, the Radar Superstar. It's like, how does WWE not own that?
Yeah, it's weird that they have Edge.
Yeah.
But they don't have that one.
Yeah.
Do they have the Ultimate Opportunist? They must have. They must have the Ultimate Opportunist, but
no, I don't know. I think Taz called him that at one point.
Who knows? But yeah, it's
strange, and it's strange
Adam Copeland.
When you see too, like, oh, that show in Toronto, that was a perfect way to end that character for Edge to go out. And I'm like, you're literally still Edge. Yeah. You're just not called Edge.
Yeah.
You're not a different character whatsoever. You're yourself.
While I am pumped for Edge, Adam Copeland.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
There's too many Adams in AEW already.
It is one of those, like, because he did specifically say that he wasn't going to win a world title at WWE.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I mean, now that there's two, probably could have. But also, how many world titles is he actually going to win in AEW?
he brought it up right away, and I was just like, but you also brought it up right away when he came back to WWE and he never won it. So,
I think it's going to be one of those deals like Christian, where he wins like the TNT title, or one of those other mid-level titles.
Yeah,
and I mean, aside from the matches, because like there's some match combinations that I'm particularly pumped for, because I think he would mesh well with a lot of these guys. But like even just watching him wrestle Bryan Danielson in this environment as opposed to WWE, I think is going to be really good. Especially because, like, I mean, Bryan Danielson is just doing career work.
Oh yeah.
Great. But to be fair, he's been doing career work since he came back.
I'm worried about his health though. He's got to be careful. That seems say Adam Copeland too. I mean, man, they're doing chair shots to the head still. That shit's crazy.
Oh, it's all just AI bullshit. CGI. They're not actually.
What do you mean CGI?
It's CGI.
It's a CGI chair?
Yeah. You don't know? You don't know how they do things?
It's not a CGI chair.
Yeah, it's totally a CGI chair.
Everything's AI, CGI.
That's right.
Yeah, nothing's real anymore. We're not even here right now.
No, we're not. We're bots.
Room.
We're bots. This is all just green screen.
I'm in bed at home with a VR headset on my head.
Yeah, from here down, I'm naked. Because I have a green screen scarf. That's how that is. But anyway, overall, I am very happy for Adam. I hope this is everything he wants it to be. But we'll see. It's just weird that he's going to retire in AEW.
That's the weirdest part. I get wanting to be with Christian again, but it's so fucking weird. And I get that, yeah, he was with WWE for 25 years, but other than Impact, there was really nowhere for him to go. That in Japan, I guess.
And I don't see him going to Japan. I never would have saw him.
Impact would never been able to afford him.
No.
So
and NWA NWA would have probably been able to afford him because Corrigan's got some dollars behind him.
Yeah.
But he is definitely not an NWA fit.
No.
I mean, their champion was Brodus Clay. Sorry, COVID denier, anti-vaxxer, and among other things, Tyrus. That's what it was.
Tyrus.
I think it was Tyrus.
Okay.
And then their current one is another one of our favorites. What's his face? He did the CWO.
CWO.
Or no, Control Your Narrative. That guy.
Which one? The
head guy, the big one. Yeah,
I know him.
Oh, he was supposed to be this big huge thing, and then he went back to WWE and they fucking tanked him. Although I thought for sure he was going to do well in WWE the second time around, but then COVID happened and then he went weird.
A lot of people went weird.
Everyone went weird. We all did. You and I both went.
We all went weird.
We all went COVID crazy.
We all had different weirdnesses.
That's right, and that's just it. But anyway, regardless of that guy's name, I can't remember it, and I can't remember his name either. I don't really care to. But NWA wouldn't have been the perfect fit for him.
No.
Impact is like out of all of them. Well,
he would have definitely got more of a feel of the indie shows at Impact.
Out of all of them, AEW is the best fit. If it wasn't WWE, it had to be AEW.
Yeah.
And the only one, honestly, there was only a few in WWE that'd be feel weird. One of the weirdest ones, aside from Edge, would be Randy Orton.
Oh.
And I honestly thought that's what Edge was doing. Was he was like, well, AEW is going to offer me this much, because Orton did the same thing. Orton literally was like, oh, FTR, Orton. This sounds like a match made, and all of a sudden he was just like, no, I resigned.
Yeah.
WWE fucking. They met my offer.
It's just like once you're there that long, you just that's a lifer,
Yeah.
So to be there that long and then hop over at the very last second to end your career,
it's weird.
It's fucking weird.
It is weird. But it's also weird that because like before he officially retired in WWE, he made it sound like this was it.
Yeah.
This was
he
the
even did that video in front of his cabin or whatever afterwards.
That part there, I was like, that could be a work. I said right away, I was like, that could be a work. Because fucking even Punk said how many times he would never go back to WWE. And he's courted WWE 3 times after he said he would never go back. So it's like, okay, all right. All right, if you're gonna believe a wrestler, I've got some islands to sell you. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. Congratulations to both of them. Yep. I honestly hope it works the way they want it to for both of them.
Yep.
I think it's a little bit better for Jade Cargill in this regard. Not that I think staying with AEW wouldn't have been bad, because she was on a trajectory anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean,
she was on an upward.
She was going places there, for sure.
There's no way.
And we'll see what they do with her here. If it's just a fucking, which who knows.
But in the meantime, Toni Storm.
I love Toni Storm.
Her gimmick, her
right
gimmick, now,
and it was such a natural switch to this gimmick.
It was great. Yeah. I love it.
I love her.
Oh, it actually kind of reminds me of it's got Chelsea Green Impact vibes.
Yeah.
Where she was the fucking crazy bride. With the smeared makeup and dirty fucking wedding dress. My God. Oh, and Chelsea Green. She's so great. She's so great. But yeah, so that's it for my wrestling talk right there. That's it.
That was pretty. I was expecting more. Wow.
Well, we talked
about the big ones, so nothing's really happening.
Raw's been Raw, and some things are happening on Raw that are okay, but most of it is just okay. See you again next week, and then SmackDown is fuck all. Fuck all is happening on SmackDown. Nothing that I really have noticed happening on SmackDown. You know,
until Roman comes back, or
Yo Sky
Rock reappears,
and Charlotte and that stuff is treading along. It's going along nicely.
Yeah,
you know, pay-per-views this week, and I completely forgot, and I was like, oh yeah.
I looked at the card. I was like, yeah, I didn't care for watching.
I didn't even ask you if you wanted to watch it, because I was like, I'm not even sure.
The whole show's tag team matches.
I don't even know. I'm watching it.
Hey, that guy's doing nothing. Let's put him in a random tag team.
I mean, even the John Cena LA Knight match, I'm like, okay, but LA Knight's winning.
Yeah.
He's the one who's pinning.
Yeah.
He's pinning Solo.
Yeah.
And then apparently going to Survivor Series against Roman, which, fuck.
Cool.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay. He's not going to win, but it's still.
Hey, you know what? This just means we'll see LA Knight in AEW in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Actually, I was pretty proud of my joke, though. The AEW has technically become Roman's toilet, because everyone that's fed to him is shit out into AEW.
No, it's pretty bad. I don't think he goes to AEW yet, but I think what happens is they gauge the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
All it is just seeing the crowd reaction opposite Roman.
Yeah.
And if that crowd is sustained throughout for LA Knight, yes, he's losing, because they're not going to call an audible, because remember, Roman's never losing that fucking title, ever.
Yeah.
And so what'll happen is that whoever is the champ on Raw, because I think Damien's cashing in this Saturday.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
Broken back Seth.
Yeah.
He'll barely beat Shinsuke.
Yeah.
And then he'll be all broken and hobbled, and he can barely walk, and then the perfect heel move, Judgment Day music hits, and everyone's like, I can just imagine JR. Oh my God! He's broken in half. He's already dead.
Is Judgment Day
picking at the bones?
Are they really doing anything this weekend?
The
take title match, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That random fucking take title match. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. It's like Jay's right back in the title picture, or the take picture. They don't have a clue on Raw.
There's no fucking way.
They don't have a clue.
They don't really have a clue right now on anything. Because like I said, SmackDown's not any better. But that's it. I don't want to talk about wrestling anymore. We're done.
Okay, done.
We're done. Is there any other topics that we have to go through before we get to...
We actually don't. I got no Insta questions or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's the movie, unless you got other topics that hit up. That's a big no. That's a big no.
Oh.
So Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. Oh, wait, hold on, real quick. Captain America #1?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I haven't read it yet.
Oh,
is it good?
It's good.
Oh, of course it is. It's Straczynski writing pretty Captain America.
But you want to know what?
What?
It's weird in the sense that it's an incredibly grounded book.
Yeah.
But a supernatural villain in the background.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, but oh man, oh, does it ever look great?
Yeah,
it's awesome. Like it was so good. I actually liked it better than Daredevil #1, and I really liked Daredevil #1.
Yeah,
really liked Daredevil.
That's nice to hear. You haven't said that you really like Daredevil in a while.
Yeah. What's his face's run has been really hit and miss with me, which is weird because I do like Zdarsky.
Yeah,
but even his Batman run right now is really.
He always did more like lighthearted stuff, so maybe dark characters aren't his thing. Like Bendis.
Spider-Man life story was not lighthearted at all. So
that's
life story.
Yeah, before I wreck myself.
No, before I wreck you.
Oh, shit. Oh! He did that other Spider-Man mini too, right? The what if style with Venom or the symbiote?
Yeah,
symbiote.
Oh no, that was so good.
That was amazing.
Holy shit, was that good?
Oh,
so good.
I was like, I'm so happy this was a full miniseries and not a what if one shot.
It was so good that when I started reading that, I checked it back in with Amazing Spider-Man a bit, and like Peter Parker's got the sins of Norman Osborn.
Well, it's like garbage, yeah.
And he's in the black and white suit.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got the symbiote.
Yeah.
And he's a spider goblin symbiote thing, and I was like, yeah, you shouldn't even have opened this book. You should have just left it the fuck alone.
Close it shut.
Left it the fuck alone. So anyway, yeah, no. As far as the #1s go, yeah, it was really good. Captain America was really good.
I can't wait.
I was really pumped, especially because that storyline wasn't that great.
Yeah.
That last one.
Have you read the new Thor book?
No.
I've been tempted to check that out just because.
I'm tempted to just cause.
I mean, like Al Ewing.
That's the thing.
Immortal Hulk started so strong, and then I lost it. I lost it.
No, it was great. It was fucking.
You
great.
kept with it.
I kept with it. Yes, I will say it did this.
Yeah.
But like the peaks or the valleys weren't as low.
Okay.
For me, anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm sitting there going like, dude, come on, how could you? I'm like, I can see it.
I love the whole horror element of it.
Yeah.
So once he started inserting more superheroes into it,
And also, when he did that, they also dialed back the horror.
Yes.
So I could see exactly what brought you to the dance. And then once they said, okay, well, we're done with that part, then I could see why. Because then it was just a Hulk book.
Because Bruce Jones did the same thing. His book was like straight up horror at the beginning and then just went right back into super heroics. Yeah.
I will say, at least with Ewing's Immortal Hulk, though, it wasn't like, yes, there was superheroes, like in the sense that it was Gamma Flight and all that, but they were all Hulk related.
Yep.
And there was still body horror aspects to it, all of them. So there were still elements, but it was like on the peripherals. So I'm still just like, yeah, I get it. I get it. And I read it in chunks though. So I would go back.
You did, yeah.
And I would I'd start from the beginning and then I'd read up to where it was. And so reading it all in one shot like that, or like in sections, but relatively close, keeps you into it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you fall off and then you go back into it, you're like, wait, what? So I mean, once you get to a point, it's hard to get back in. So yeah, especially in that book. So that's kind of why I was hesitant with the Immortal Thor, even though I was still just like, yeah, but I mean, that's fucking great. So
the Alex Ross covers are gorgeous.
Well,
every time I look at them, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he's been gone long enough where I can appreciate his art again. Where I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this guy's still amazing. Still amazing. So that's it.
Speaking of amazing, though.
Oh yes.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes.
So the Ultimate Universe is coming back, but not the Ultimate Universe we know.
That's right.
So it's a new Earth.
Read Ultimate Invasion.
Yep.
And it sets it up.
Yeah.
Like it's literally 4 issues.
That's the kickoff, right? Ultimate Invasion is the kickoff?
Yeah, 4 issues, and it's Hickman and Hitch. It's bonkers. Like it is. Like even I was like, whoa. There was a couple of parts where I was like, wait, what just happened here? And then I was like, I reread it. I was like, oh, okay. But like, yeah, no. So Ultimate kicked off with Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimates almost at the same time.
Right.
So you had young Peter Parker looking up to the Avengers, or the Ultimates. No, they were called the Avengers in the book, weren't they?
Ultimates.
They were called the Ultimates. That's right. So it was kind of like, you know, MCU Spider-Man and Iron Man, right? Whereas, well, yeah, this one is started with Tony Stark as Iron Lad, so he's young.
Okay.
He's young. I don't want to spoil too much about Invasion because I really think you should read it. And part of the Avengers is made up of Doctor Doom.
Weird.
Yeah, and Captain America.
Okay, and Thor, right?
And
I saw
Thor.
an image of Thor.
Yeah,
okay.
and Thor. But like, this is Captain America found frozen in the ice. Captain America, like it's not the Ultimates Captain America.
Okay.
It's almost teased like it's our version or the regular version of Captain America, but I don't know the extent of it, right?
Okay.
But ultimately, like this world was made by the maker. It was supposed to be his perfect world, and I don't know if he's dead. They don't really tell you at the end of Invasion. He's probably not because I didn't see a body. And I mean, how do you kill that guy? Like, he might as well be Plastic Man.
Yeah, right? It's crazy to think that's just Reed Richards.
Yeah, but the worst part is, like, it's so crazy that I want to reread I want to read Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
and then get into the Ultimate
stuff
to go through it because it's so crazy that one day the writers just went, "What if we made Reed evil?" But only in the sense that, like, he's like the same thing. Like, he sees himself as the good guy because he just wants to make the world perfect, and he just doesn't have any issues killing countless people to do it.
Yeah. It's crazy. So it's a new Ultimate Universe.
Completely new.
Created by one of the last remaining members from the original Ultimate Universe.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Who may or may not be dead.
Yeah, because what's left, really? The Maker, Miles, and...
Well, no, because that Ultimate Verse is back.
That Ultimate Verse
it came back. It's just we don't visit it anymore.
Oh, man.
Because that was resolved in Ultimate Spider-Man 2, or the Spider-Man 2, that
okay.
With,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we find out like Peter Parker in that world is alive. And,
yeah.
You know, that's kind of where we find out that. We found out in Miles' story that because Peter Parker came back in that one, found out like he and Norman can't die, which I don't like.
No.
The was it the Omega, whatever the fuck that thing was called, the serum that made them.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but it is brand new Ultimate Verse, so brand new versions of these characters.
I'm intrigued by it. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Well, honestly,
Marco being on art.
Oh. Yeah, I know. Read Ultimate Invasion.
Yeah.
And then tell me what you think.
Okay.
Because that will.
Because it's like
literally lead right into.
I don't know if I could see Hickman like doing a great Spider-Man.
Well, so they don't do anything with Spider-Man in this 4-issue miniseries.
No.
So I have no hint of how you will do.
Might not even be Peter Parker. It might be some random kid.
Correct. It could be. Could very well be. It might even be a new version of Miles Morales.
Who knows? Yeah.
You know?
In the red and blue.
It's easy to assume it could be. Hell, it could even be Gwen.
It could be.
Miguel O'Hara. There's so many options.
Yeah.
Could be Peter Porker. Who knows? That's the Spectacular Spider-Ham, in case you didn't see the 2 movies that he was in, or otherwise are 40-year-old comic book freaks like us.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
But yeah, so that's it for me. And unless you have anything else.
No, let's hop into the main event.
Let's do The Cabin in the Woods.
Let's stay in it. Let's not do it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's live in it for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
So 2011, this gem came out. It was directed by Drew Goddard, who frequently worked with Joss Whedon.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie was written by both Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard. It was also produced by Joss Whedon. Mm-hmm. I've said Joss Whedon a couple of times. And the reason why is because, and I'll get to the rest of this, just because this is one of the, like I mentioned, and I want to get this out of the way, but within the first 30 seconds of this movie, we get a shot of the female protagonist in her bedroom.
Yes.
Wearing nothing but a shirt and her underwear.
Yes.
In front of her, like, corner windows, 2 windows, middle of the morning.
Yep.
Both windows are open. Prancing around, not prancing, but walking around. And I, 40-year-old Chris was like, what the hell? Why isn't she wearing pants? That seems like a weird thing to do in front of 2 open windows in the middle of the day. And then I saw produced by Joss Whedon. I went like this. I went, oh, that makes sense. Actually, you know what? That makes perfect sense. And I'm not even looking at it like it's a spoof on classic horror flicks. I'm like, yeah, you're a dirtbag.
Hey, yeah, I mean, it could be a Whedon thing. I looked at it being a homage to the 80s, though. Because, I mean, like, you watch 80s horror movies, there's so many boobies.
Right.
So many.
Honestly, I'll tell you this right now.
Yes.
If there was no Joss Whedon attached to this at all...
There'd be pants?
No, but I would have probably bought that homage more.
Okay.
But because it is Joss Whedon, and he wrote it and he produced it, I don't buy that.
Okay.
Even if he says, no, it's a homage to those 80s movies, like they didn't give a shit. I'm like, no, you're a dirtbag. Because he's the same guy that gaslit women into thinking he was a feminist and he was pro this and pro that. And it turns out he's actually the opposite. He was actually worse because he was like, no, I'm an ally as long as you suck my dick. But so no, I don't buy that.
Okay.
I don't buy that. It doesn't taint the movie for me. It just means in certain scenes I went, that's fucking...
So the boobies later on in the movie, same thing again?
No, strangely enough.
Oh.
Nope. Making out with the wolf head, that one.
That was strange.
That was one of those. That was the second one.
Edge and AEW strange.
That was, yeah. You know what? I'll give you that. That was, because I remember, but I will say that scene, the underwear scene, those two, I was like, well, that's just because fucking Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking creeper. But the scene later where the high school chick, like the cheerleader one, is dancing, like total slut dancing.
Yeah.
And Hemsworth is just like, hey, that's my girlfriend. If they didn't have the other 2 co-stars, and I can't remember their names right now, but we'll go through the list, where they're looking at her like, what the fuck are you doing? And they're looking at each other like, what the fuck is happening? If they didn't have that scene, I would have included that in there too.
Okay.
Because I literally was like, oh yeah, I forgot that she did this. Why the fuck would you do this at a party with 4 other people? And then, of course, when they showed the 2 of them just looking at her like, what the fuck?
It's the gases.
Then I was like, okay.
All
right. All right. Yeah, sure. I mean, I know they had the pheromone gases, but fuck off with this bullshit. Anyway. Not that I'm saying you're a Whedon fan by any means, because, I mean, you like his work. I like a lot of his work.
It's hard for me to hate the guy because...
No. It's easy for you to hate the guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hate his work.
The work.
It's hard to hate his work, because I'll give you that this is a great movie.
It's just, no, I don't mean like, it's...
I know what you're saying.
I spent so many years idolizing the guy.
Yep.
Because of Buffy and Angel and Firefly.
Don't meet your heroes.
And Avengers, and the list goes on.
Don't meet your heroes.
That it's kind of just like, ugh.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Because, like, I like Buffy. I like the movie Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the TV show Buffy, not nearly as much as you.
Yep.
But I did. Yep. I liked Angel. I watched, like, the first, I think, 2-3 seasons of Angel, and I thought, okay, all right, I like this. You know, obviously, Avengers 1, I really liked. Avengers 2, I also really liked. You know, not as much as the first, but still. And obviously not as much as the other ones.
Yep.
But, you know, I'm not... Obviously, there's certain things that we've nitpicked about Whedon's treatment of some of the characters.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, I don't hate his work. Like Firefly, for instance.
Oh, I love Firefly.
Oh, my God.
Serenity?
Oh, God damn.
Leap on the Wind.
But I don't like him.
We don't like him.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cast.
The
lead is
adorable.
Kristen Connolly as Dana Polk.
Okay.
A college student designated as the Virgin, and we'll get into that.
The Virgin.
But it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah,
through the list.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth as Kurt Vaughn, a sociology major and football jock, designated as the Athlete.
Oh.
Anna Hutchinson as Jules Loudon, a pre-med college student, and Kurt's girlfriend, designated the Whore.
The Whore.
She had sex. What a whore! Oh no! Then we've got Fran Kranz as Marty Mikowski, a college student designated as the Fool, mostly because he smokes pot.
Frank Rance, love that guy.
Jesse Williams as Holden McRae, Kurt's football teammate, designated as the Scholar. And if you're a fan of Jesse Williams, it's the same shit he did in Grey's Anatomy. Nothing
always
new.
the same.
Richard Jenkins, however,
Yes.
Gary Sitterson, the facilities technician, and Bradley Whitford as Steve Hadley, also the facilities technician. Then we've got Brian J. White as Daniel Truman, the facilities control room security officer. Amy Acker as Wendy Lynn, the facilities technician. She was great.
Yep.
A surprisingly good catch for this movie. The director, the unnamed leader of the facility, played by Sigourney Weaver.
Bum, bum, bum.
And in case you forgot, she's been in like a million movies, and she's been an amazing in all of them.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
Even Heartbreakers.
I love Heartbreakers. Come on, man. Heartbreakers.
Doesn't hold up as well as you think.
I watched it recently. I still enjoy it.
Okay, I will rewatch it and I'll let you know.
I still enjoy it.
We got Tim DeZarn as Mordecai, a gas station owner who works for the
Mordecai.
fucking hate this guy. That's the funniest shit. So, am I on speakerphone? What? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. You are. That's the rudest thing. You don't tell me that I'm on speakerphone. I'm still on speakerphone, aren't I? You fucking assholes. And then next up, we've got Jodelle Ferlin as Patience Buckner, Dan Payne as Matthew Buckner, Dan Shea as Father Buckner, and they are
the Buckner.
The Buckners. They are the redneck
torture.
The redneck.
Wasn't Redneck Torture Zombie Family or something like that?
Something like that. Redneck Torture Zombie Family. That's what it was. That's right. and then finally, at the very, very bottom of the list, for some reason they felt to have Tom Length as Ronald the intern. You know, the guy that joined up with the maintenance crew?
Yeah.
To win?
That's a good one to have in there, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway. So, basically, the whole plot of this movie, well, there's actually two plots to this movie.
Yeah.
And what I loved, and I forgot about this, was like right away, they tell you there's more going on than what you just think. Yeah. So it starts off, we meet Dana. She's in her room. She's packing for a weekend getaway with her friends. Like I said, Curtis and the whore.
Curtis and the whore.
The whore, the fool.
The scholar.
And so they're all going out to a cabin in the woods. And immediately once they leave, some dude is on the roof going, okay, they've left.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, what the fuck's going on here? And then we meet the joyful people of the facility, and we find out that they're also watching these people. And we're like, whoa. So immediately I'm like, oh, it's like a reality TV show that they don't know they're a part of. Okay. All right. This is an interesting spin. Spin. They go to the cat, or they meet up with Mordecai. They meet up with Mordecai, and they smoke weed, and they drink, and they're in a camper, and they find the cabin, and they just do high school kids things that they do in those movies when they look like they're 40. And they're, I mean, at least Dana looked younger.
Yes.
She looked the youngest out of all of them.
Well, they're college students.
Yeah, but still, how many college?
Early 20s.
Yeah.
I wonder how old Hemsworth actually was in this.
Well, it's funny. The one that looked the oldest was the cheerleader.
Yeah.
She looked the oldest in my opinion. But like, okay, whatever. Like, grown up, I mean, honestly, I prefer these high school kids played by adults, considering some of the stuff you hear that happens to kids in Hollywood. So the older you are, the better.
Yep.
But anyway, so they go to the cabin and more shit happens that you start going like, what is...
Weird shit. And
then we start learning about the lore of what's happening. So we learn more about the facility. And the facility is essentially doing whatever they can to make it so that these people die with a certain of these people have to die. The virgin is optional. They say the virgin is optional. But what that means is that the 4 others have to die before her.
Right.
If they get her, great. But if they get her before anyone else, that's the whole thing is fucked. And we find out that like all these other countries are all doing the same thing, and all these other countries have failed. We don't know what they failed at necessarily, but it's now down to Japan and the United States.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of interesting for me because when you visit the kids in the cabin, it's more like your stereotypical horror flick.
Yeah.
But then when you go to these guys in the facility, it's just a fucking office comedy.
Yeah, right.
They're just like, whatever, like, yeah, we're trying to kill him. We're trying to kill him. Anyway, you want to come by on Thursday and grab a couple beers? We'll just kind of hang out. They're like in golf carts driving around.
Watch the magic.
Yeah, you know, and they're just like, we'll just, whatever. You know?
The Buckners. Oh, I wanted the merman.
No, it's like, let me guess, you wanted Aquaman again?
Oh, that's funny.
They all take the Buckners. He's like, well, I mean, you can't mess with what works, right?
Yeah.
And everything is like pretty much stereotypical, but like you said, there's little things, right? The second that they go into the basement, that's where I'm like, oh, fuck, this is really different. Because there's options, right? Like she picks up this ball.
Yeah.
And it looks like they might play around with the ball, but then there's this voice that they start hearing, or at least the fool hears.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then it's the book with the Latin. And I love how he's just like, don't fucking say that shit. I've watched too many movies. Don't fucking say that shit.
Don't read the Latin.
And then, of course, she does. And he's just like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And then that's what calls in the Buckners. And then, like, you back and you find out there was a number of options. And even like the guard, he's just like, so you just fucking force these people to kill themselves? And they're like, no. We do whatever we can to rig it, but ultimately it's their choice. They choose how they die. They're very like, hold on, asshole. Okay? We fucking open the gate to the basement, yes. We have the voices read the book, yes. But they have to choose. Yep. So we're totally clear on this one, guys. So you're an asshole for insinuating that we're pricks. And I got a huge kick out of that.
Those guys are awesome.
But then again, it's those two, right?
Yeah.
Like fuck, and those are the two big stars in the movie. And first time I watched this, when we got to them, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, now he's almost forever Jake Peralta's dad, but still.
Yeah. True.
But still, he was great before that. But he always just kind of played the same thing. Just, oh yeah. Or even like Happy Gilmore. Or no, Billy Madison. It was Billy Madison.
Madison. Yeah.
Madison, Billy Madison. He basically plays varying degrees of slimy douchebag.
Yeah.
Here he's not a slimy douchebag. He's just a normal dude. He just happens to be involved in killing people.
Some douchey
for
stuff.
The ones below.
Oh man.
But yeah, so basically they call the Buckners, and then people start dying. And you think, okay, this is the movie. Like this is it, right? But
it's a slasher in the cabin in the woods. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so the cheerleader got killed horribly, right in front of the jock, Hemsworth, and I was just like, holy shit! And they definitely make it look like he was killed.
Yeah.
But that's a fake out, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too.
Thought that was awesome. They killed the fool, and I was like, oh fuck! And then of course, Hemsworth tries to get away.
Yep.
So he tries to get away. He does the jump into the force field. I forgot to mention the force field, but that was a cool touch.
Yeah.
Box them in, right? So he dies in the force field, and the coolest part about that is like he's hitting the force field all the way down. So it went from like, oh shit, to oh shit.
He's still going.
Oh shit.
He's still going.
He's still rolling. Oh my god. So that was cool. And then so then you think, okay, so the scholar, the virgin, they're the only ones still alive. And then he gets killed immediately after that.
Oh yeah, right away.
Right through the throat. I was just like, oh fuck. And then it's just her trying to get away from one of the Buckners.
Yeah.
And that's like the rest of the movie until.
And then everyone in the facility is celebrating.
That's it. It's over.
The virgin's getting beat up. We did it.
Yeah. The whore's dead.
Yeah.
The scholar's dead. The jock's dead. The fool's dead. And we're gonna get the virgin too. We saved everyone. The gods are happy. fucking rides.
And then the phone rings.
And then the phone rings, the red phone from upstairs, and they're just like shitting their pants. Like, what is happening? And then it turns out, we find out that, well, the fool didn't die.
No.
Not only did he not die, he fucked that bitch up.
Yeah, and he found a way into the facility.
And he starts figuring out, like, he was sort of kind of feeling out something was already weird about this. And now he's like, it's all fucking bullshit. Like, it's fucking bullshit. And then the Virgin doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up getting in there, and now they're in the facility, and everyone is like, what the fuck? Because they've never, ever had this happen.
No.
Oh, and then, by the way, Japan failed.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That was so cool. The girls in the school room
they're all singing.
And then it kills the fucking ring-looking bitch, and then turns her into a fucking frog. And they're like, now this will live out the rest of her day as a beautiful frog filled with love. And you're like, oh my God. And then you're like, holy fuck, now it's like, well, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going to happen? And the best part is when Sigourney steps in. Oh, I forgot. The two of them, they start fucking shit up, and they find out.
They end up in the boxes.
When they get into the boxes, that's when they find out that it was all rigged.
Yeah.
Because she sees a dude who kind of looks like, he's supposed to look like Pinhead.
Yeah, he's a Pinhead dude.
And he's holding a puzzle ball that she had touched. She was literally holding it, and she's like, "They make us choose." And she's now getting it. She's like, "You were right. It's a whole big thing, and they were making us choose how we die." You know, and again, like, this movie kept fucking doing this where I was just like, oh fuck, this is, and then it was like, oh shit.
I know.
And then it was like, oh shit.
Still, like, I've watched this so many times, and I still feel the same way. Like, it's crazy.
I watch it
it's
every
over,
couple
and then
of
just
years,
keeps...
and every time I watch it, I know the movie, but every time I'm like, all right, I forgot that the feeling is still just like, oh yes, oh yeah, and then you start seeing some of these crazy monster designs.
Oh, the werewolf!
The werewolf looked incredible. I loved the giant snake
thing.
The ghost was all like cool as a ghost thing, but it was sort of like, I don't know how that would really work. Obviously the Buckners were really fucking cool looking. Just even the Pinhead ripoff, he looked fucking cool.
Oh, he looked awesome.
He looked right fucking cool. The werewolf though was fucking crazy cool for me. I was just, the bat. The bat was also really cool. Very, very fucking cool. Special effects were great. They held up amazingly.
Yeah, they really hold up.
Like, even in that scene where a whole bunch of shit is going on, and it's fairly well lit,
they hit
too.
the big red button.
Oh, that bloodbath though. Holy shit.
Holy crap.
Oof. Everyone's just getting eaten alive, ripped apart. And of course, like, we've got like teams that are literally designed to help, but fucking you do with that many monsters.
Yeah.
You take down one at a time, sure.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I have to say though, out of all the deaths, and I'm glad that they did it the way they did though, the fact that the dude got killed by the merman, and even was like,
that was gross.
He was just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
And it eats him and then blows his blood out of its back. Oh.
It's just so gross. So gross. But I'm glad that they had him be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, seriously. But yeah, I liked, but I loved,
oh, Mr. M's in the house.
Hey, Mr. M, how's it going?
My guys, I can't stay long, but wanted to say thanks again for Mad Max. Also, I really thought the opening set up that she wasn't the virgin and they were going to have the fool and the virgin backwards.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sigh, it's never merman.
Totes.
Oh, man, I love the merman.
No, it's so great.
So
fuck,
good.
Like, fuck. But, like, then when Sigourney Weaver comes out, she's just basically like, look.
Doing the whole speech, yeah.
Here's the thing. All of this is just blood sacrifices for these fucking gods, okay? And it's down to us. We're the only ones. And, you know, this is it. Like, it's either you die or you kill him or we all die. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know? And she's going to do it. The Virgin was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the fucking werewolf
comes up behind her. And
he's just like, he's like, I'm really sorry. And he's like, so am I.
Yeah.
He just fucking mauls her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And then again, still, They fucking kill her. They kill Sigourney Weaver.
Yep.
And then the two of them just light up a joint and go, well, I guess this is it.
Yep.
The end of the world. And they showed the fucking evil god.
The giant hand comes through. This movie's crazy. And this is the same feeling I get from like Violent Night and everything, where it's like, I wish I could have seen a little more. Like, I know it's never going to happen now. Joss Whedon involved in everything. But I would have loved to see more of these monsters. Like other times they killed people.
Me too.
I would have loved to see the other countries.
I would have loved to see more of those quick shots.
I'd love to see the giant gods destroying the world. Oh, yeah. I want so much.
Just to see them run roughshod over the world and see what happens afterwards. That would have been kind of interesting. And I forgot to do the budget, but it actually made money.
I don't think it was too high of a budget.
It wasn't.
It was like shot like 3 years or something prior to being released, too.
30 million. So it's 30 million.
That's dirt cheap when you consider
that's fucking
what
gross.
They did.
It's gross how cheap that is in comparison. It made 66.5.
Yep.
Which, okay, like, I mean, it actually didn't make money.
I'm actually surprised it didn't do better.
Yeah, especially because the critics were all over it. 92%.
You know, this is like
7.9 out of 10.
Yeah.
They kept, like, every critic was basically saying, like, it's a crazy, this is one quote, an astonishing meta feat capable of being funny, strange, and scary, frequently all at the same time. And I'm like, yup, 100%, 100%. Ebert even was like, he gave it 3 out of 4. He was saying, Cabin in the Woods has been constructed almost as a puzzle for horror fans to solve. Which conventions are being toyed with? Which authors and films are being referred to? Is the film itself an act of criticism? It was just like, holy fuck, like I said, like, when they adhere to strict horror conventions,
yep,
it's a really good horror film in that aspect.
Absolutely it is.
So even if we didn't have any of the other stuff, it would still be a really good horror flick.
Yep.
I mean, obviously the deaths would have had to be tweaked a little bit, like, especially Hemsworth's death, because you couldn't have him hit a force field.
Oh,
right?
Man.
But it would still work on its own.
Yep.
And even if they kept some of that horror comedy vibes, it still would have worked really well. But then pulling off this other aspect with the facility and this lore and the fact that it's tied globally, it's not just an American thing. It's every country doing this every year. And they literally say, hey, all those horror movies, think about all those horror movies. Where do you think those tropes came from? Us.
Yeah.
It's us. And it's for a reason.
I often say there's no original ideas left in Hollywood, and this movie proved me wrong.
But it's also like
it's playing with things. Yeah, it's playing with things that we've seen.
Yeah.
But that whole facility concept, I never would have thought of something like that.
Nope.
Mind blowing.
Nope.
Like
it was one of those where I went, wow, I'm amazed no one thought of this before.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but I'm glad someone thought of this.
What monsters do you want to have in here? All of them. Like,
yeah, exactly. But you notice they didn't do conventional versions aside from the werewolf.
Right.
But even then, that werewolf, you could argue, because some werewolves, they have them on like their bipedal.
Yeah.
Or quadrupedal.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was bipedal. That one actually reminded me of the werewolf in, was it Bad Moon?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Bad Moon.
Mason Gamble?
Bad Moon for sure. And remind me of the werewolf from Van Helsing.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Well, yeah, because the only difference between that one and the wolf from Bad Moon was the Bad Moon wolf was white.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was.
I love Bad Moon.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
A lot of people hate Bad Moon.
It's one of my favorites.
I love Bad Moon.
It is such.
Thor is the man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's such a good werewolf movie.
It really
I know
is.
people shit on it, but I was like, man, I can't get over how good this is.
Like,
I remember watching
dog
it
is a hero.
and being like, you have to watch this. Because I rented this on my own. And I was like, you have to watch this. And then you ended up watching it and you were like, yeah. Thank you for fucking telling me. And
Dennis the Menace versus a werewolf?
But I think,
okay.
no, I remember I rented it, and then when I mentioned it to you, you're like, yeah, no, I'm waiting for it to come to the store.
Yeah.
That's right. Because it was already on your radar. And you were like, was it? I was like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we talked on telephones. Remember those?
Oh, the ones on the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah. Had to get 2 lines, so you didn't hold up the line.
You could go on the internet. You be on the phone. I'm on the phone.
I didn't have the internet. with that. I wasn't there at that point. I didn't get internet until we went out. Well, until I moved with my grandparents. But even then, it was, But at that point, it was separate lines and all that shit. But regardless, this is one of those where it's like it's right up there with Tucker and Dale versus Evil, where you're just like, man. And like, first of all, everyone should be watching these movies. Mm-hmm. First of all, that's like a given. If you watch horror or you like comedy or you like meta movies, there it is. All three.
I'm a sucker for horror comedies. I know like a lot of horror purists don't like horror comedies.
Yeah,
I enjoy them.
That's gatekeeping.
It's gatekeeping. That's
all it is.
I enjoy them. I think it's great.
I think like it's I think it was I think it was Jackie Chan or Jet Li. They said something like, someone was like, yeah, but like all you do is martial arts movies or something like that. And he's just like, it's like, yeah, but I do different kinds. Like I do comedy action, kung fu, and I do serious kung fu. It's like, do you really just like one flavor of ice cream? You know, like if you just like vanilla, okay, great.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm vanilla, sometimes I'm chocolate, sometimes I'm Napoleon. You know what I mean? And you're like, I was like, oh yeah, it's still ice cream. It's just different flavors. And then it's one of those where it starts to help. Like that kind of started to help me get to that mindset where it's like, it's okay to like and hate things.
Yep.
Right? You just can't. It's not okay when you go, I don't like it, so all of you can't like it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I don't like vanilla, so nobody can have vanilla. Fuck vanilla. All of you, it's gone. Vanilla's gone. Fuck it.
I've never believed in the question, what's your guilty pleasure? Because it's like, I'm not really guilty of anything. I don't feel guilty about anything I enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not.
Why should I?
I'm not going to feel bad for
I like Bad Moon.
I'm not going to be shamed because I like superheroes and I'm supporting, you know, or I watch cartoons. You know, I'm not going to. I like them. They press that button that makes me feel good about things.
Yep.
So I will keep pressing that button.
Hell yeah.
You know? And this movie is like that button. I love it. Like I absolutely love this movie. I remember watching it on Netflix for the first time, and within like the first like 10 minutes, I was like, okay, all right. The facility hit, and I was like, I'm in. I'm 100% in. There's nothing. No. I don't know where this movie's going to take me.
I'm so confused. Like even now, like when I rewatch it starts up, I'm like, it's so weird.
It's so weird.
Like I can't imagine. Like
it's such a weird shift in
seeing the trailers for The Cabin in the Woods, and you go to the theater to watch it, and then it starts up with this. And am I in the right movie? Right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like it's just it's and it's so well done. It's so well done.
I think Cabin in the Woods counts as having a doozy of a day. I'm going to run, baby, but I'll catch the VOD when I can. Thanks for the chat about such a fun movie. Thank you, Mr. M, for stopping by once again.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
And appreciate the VOD.
The VOD. Yep.
These kids and their new slang words.
Right?
But
can't keep up with it.
Honestly, this was one, like, and I actually do think one of the reasons why we never got a sequel is because what else could you have done to make and still be fresh?
Right. And that's why I think,
like, regardless of the fact, sorry to cut you off, regardless of the fact that it ended with the entire, as far as we know, civilization being wiped out.
It's a pretty definitive ending.
Regardless of that, it's like, you know,
I guess it's not so much a movie. I kind of wish I wish this would have continued as a comic book. Especially when Whedon was doing so much with comics at that time. Like he had that partnership with Dark Horse. It would have been great to see some like Cabin in the Woods spin-offs.
But how would you do it though? Without it feeling samesies. You know what I mean?
The different countries.
Well, I know, but again, it's just like, oh, but
yeah. Or you could call it Tales from the Cabin in the Woods. You just have a bunch of shorts.
Yeah, I'm overthinking it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Even if they did a TV show or an animated show or anything, I mean, you're right. I'm overthinking
like that dude.
I'm definitely
that dude. Yeah, I want to see more of that dude.
Yeah, I'm definitely good call by the way. I'm definitely overthinking it. You're right. You could just do like a Enter the Matrix. Cartoon thing where it's just
that would have been cool too. An anime.
Different versions of anime for different types of stories, or was it Batman Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Just little snippets of these stories.
I think that would have been fun, just to see like the other monsters in action.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I was looking at it more like, but how could you? And it's like, well, you could if you're not. Like if you open the gate, Chris, you could do a lot of things.
Right? It's crazy. Like we saw them all cut loose on the facility.
Yeah.
But if it was just that guy and a group of people, how would he have went after them? Would he have played mind games?
Yeah, like, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And again, how much of it would have been a ripoff of the thing it's supposed, or how much of it is it a parody?
Right.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. Merman would have been.
They could have had like Richard Jenkins. So he's older. He's been there longer, right?
Yeah.
They could have the other guy starting and him telling stories.
That's right. Yeah. There's ways. There's ways. Yeah. No, you're right. You're totally right. Yeah. No, that's. Yeah, fuck.
I would have been all over that.
Yeah, so would I, actually, in all honesty. I would have done it too. Even if it wasn't necessarily the same guys.
Yeah.
Like if it was Drew or Josh doing it, but if they were like producers and overseers, so to speak, then I'd be like, yeah, you know what, that's cool. Because then you can get like that person's version of that world through that lens. And actually, oh, fuck yeah, that'd have been really cool. Especially because the movie itself is just fucking great.
Oh, it's fucking great.
And I liked, like, when I watched it, it was one of those where, like, you had told me about it, but you didn't really tell me much. You were just basically like, because it's hard. Yeah, you can't. Exactly. Like, you can't say.
I got to tell you, it's about a bunch of people in a cabin in the woods, and then something's trying to get them. You're like, so it's Evil Dead. So it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but
there's more to it.
There's more to it, and you're like, oh, okay. But it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to be fair, I think you basically had said, hey, have you seen The Cabin in the Woods? Because I look at what culture all the time. Right?
Yeah.
And they always have lists and stuff. And they were like, and this was on the list of like the top 10 horror movies that, like with insane twists.
Right.
That you don't see coming. And like in the first couple of lines, they're like they sort of hint at it at the beginning, and it isn't until about the halfway mark that you get the full twist. We're not going to spoil it here, but it totally flips the movie on its ear and subverts the entire genre as a whole. And I was like, okay, well, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And then the next page was Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and I was like,
nice.
Oh shit. And then they were like, all the stuff we said about Cabin in the Woods, except
repeated again here.
This is more of a comedy than Cabin in the Woods, but also a subversion of those types of movies. So I was like, okay, guys, you got me. And I remember when I mentioned that I watched Tucker and Dale, and you were like, finally! Oh, fuck! Isn't that the greatest movie? And I was like, yes.
Oh, I love that movie so much. We're reviewing that one in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to do that one. Oh, fuck.
Man.
We've got that one. We've got Slither.
Yeah.
We've got The Faculty. And then we got
Bubba Hotep. Oh,
Bubba Hotep.
Bubba. It's a good run.
It's a great run.
Yeah.
It's a great run. I like with Slither and Faculty, they're getting a little bit more closer to like traditional horror.
Yes.
But they're also spoofs of the genre on top of that. So it's like, okay. All right.
There's comedic elements to those two for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they all fit our comedic horror tone for this year. But I don't know which one's the best of the bunch though. Because I haven't seen Slither at all.
Right.
Remember that time I borrowed it for a million years and then never watched it?
Never
once watched it.
Fuck?
It was one of those where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and then I didn't.
Do you
and
need
then
to borrow it again?
No.
You got it?
Well, maybe. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because that's not for another couple of weeks, so I had time to scour for it. But
Slither's right before Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, no, one of the best movies, period. Like, just regardless of genre, it's just one of the best.
This is right up there, and like, I would put it in my top 25 easily for horror movies.
Yeah, I would say top 25 for me too. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good horror movies. But yeah, no, I put this in top 25 for sure. Just because it's so original.
Exactly. Like, it's just.
And even then, there's been nothing done like this since.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think now's probably the perfect time because enough time is gone.
Yeah.
And if they got called out on it, they could be like, it's a homage. Or homage, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word.
Homage.
I remember the first time I saw that word, I actually pronounced it homage.
Homage. It looks like homage.
I was just like, homage. And then I heard someone say homage, and I was like, how would you have gotten that pronunciation?
Really? You go the French way with this? Homage.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just like, I don't know. Like, how would you have gotten that? But then again, it's like, it's the divide in Final Fantasy fans, where it's, some people say Kokobo, and some people say Chocobo.
You pronounce the H.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was a Kokobo guy. I was always like Kokobo because my name is Chris and it's CHR.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
The argument I heard for Chocobo, and it was Steve Sarnassi, who passed away. His argument was, yeah, but you don't call it cocklet. And I was like, yeah, but I think I'm going to now. Can I get a cocklet bar?
A flavor ice cream cocklet, please.
Chocolate.
Big scoop of cocklet.
Can I have some marshmallows in my hot cocklet? I lost it for about 10 minutes. And
That's
I was
awesome.
I was like, dude, that's
good.
That's fucking good. Great.
Yeah.
That's the
So
funniest thing.
It's either or, really.
And you're right. Like, you're right. And then we never really corrected ourselves ever again. Like, it was never a conversation. But every once in a while, he'd be like, hey, Tris. And then I would be like, hey, Steve, where's all them cocklets at? And then for 10 minutes, we're just like, it's the stupidest thing.
Cocklet. Oh.
But I was just like, fuck. So, yeah. So, homage is what I've been saying ever since. But I'm still just like, how do you get it that way, though?
Homage.
Like, what English guy sat there and said, no, it's spelled, it looks like homage.
Yeah.
But we're going to say homage because we want to sound like douchebags.
Yeah. Because the English language is fun.
I think all it was some guy was like some rich guy said it wrong, and a peasant corrected him, and he went, kill that guy. And then everyone else was like, homage. We know how to say it. We know how to say it.
Homage.
Fucking guy, I can't believe that he would say it the wrong way. I'm glad you killed him. God damn it.
Homage.
That was my dad. Oh.
Oh.
That's just
Papa.
Great. Yeah. Papa, no, why you say that? All of a sudden he's Italian.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh, why you say this?
It's me. It's a homage.
It's a homage.
Anyway, so yeah, I can't really say anything other than, like, as far as a movie goes, like, this is like a 5 out of 5 for me.
Oh, me too.
This is a 5 out of 5. Even with like the initial Whedon criticisms.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just one of those, like, first 30 seconds.
Weird.
I was like, why would she, and like, and I'm not going to suggest that when I watched this, like, 5-6 years ago, that I was like, hold on a second. Why isn't she wearing pants?
Right. Prior to the Joss Whedon.
No, I think it's just prior to the mentality that I'm having now. Like, like, if I were to watch this in the last, like, 4 or 5 years for the first time, that would have been my thought.
Yeah.
But I had watched this relatively, like, shortly after it came out. Like, it was on Netflix, and it was just
right.
like, oh, it's on Netflix. Okay, I'll watch it. And then I was like, oh man, it's great. And I might have even thought, like, oh, it's kind of weird, but it's gone, right?
It popped in my head for sure.
But
like,
this time around, I was like, oh,
I was like, underwear in the daytime.
Yeah, like
the blinds open.
It's not even just the blinds open.
Yeah.
The windows were full on open.
Oh yeah,
because he fucking hucked the football right through, right?
Right.
So it's a whole big thing, and you're just like, yeah, but what woman would be doing that, really? You know? But like I said, the fucking wolf makeout scene is the one where I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like that one there, because it was 30 seconds, and again, like they at least had, like, Hemsworth was like, can put some pants on, and she's like, what? Oh, it just felt cool on my legs. I wish she said that, because then I'd go, okay, well, all right, fair,
Yeah.
But the wolf makeout scene was one of those where I was like, who the fuck?
I was like,
aside from Whedon thinking that this is a funny little scene, it was just like, yeah, but like, that's like borderline necro bestiality. Did I create a new thing?
I think you did.
Because that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, and it's fucked up because like I've known you almost my entire life.
Yeah.
And you guys have been hunters almost like my entire life. Or my entire life, because your dad was hunting before I was born, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's I haven't been around dead animals or anything.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I've seen fucking deers on the wall and antlers and moose on the wall and stuff like that. And if I ever saw any one of my friends even jokingly making, although she did actually.
Oh, she made out.
She got
her tongue was on that tongue.
She tongued that thing. I wouldn't be like, yeah, you're cool to hang out with.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, that guy is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
I'd try to stop you.
This was so close to being really hot.
Admittedly, I would try to stop you, but once you got to the tongue on tongue, I'd be like, nah, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your own, and we're never hanging out.
You have crossed the point of no return.
Weekend is the last time we're ever hanging out. And if people ask me, I'll do you a favor, because you never were rude to me. I won't tell them why.
Yeah.
But if someone says, was it because you made out with a fucking wolf head? I'd be like, that's exactly why.
Exactly.
Because
that was it.
I love my dog. And I kiss my dog.
Yes.
But I don't make out with my dog.
No.
There's no tongue on tongue action.
I've seen people do that.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, it's gross.
There's something about Mary.
Yeah. Like,
every time I see it, I'm like, what the fuck?
I've got a couple accidental ones in the mouth, and it grosses me the right.
Yeah, but that's different.
I've
gotten a couple of
Listerine.
accidentals. I've gotten a couple of close calls too, where you're like, you almost fucking like our neighbor, Brian and Laura.
Yeah.
Their dog Porter. He fucking does it on purpose.
Really?
Oh yeah. He's just like
playing the game. And
then you're like, dude, you almost got me in the mouth. You're lucky you're so cute.
That was really close.
Meanwhile, he's just like, I know. I know it was.
That was just the practice round, buddy.
Got a bigger tongue than you realize. If I wanted to.
This tongue has seen things.
We'd be making out. I'd be like, I'd rather not, because you licked your balls 2 seconds ago. But yeah. So, but like that was the one big scene where I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What? But but other than, like I said, it's still 5 out of 5. There's nothing that there isn't anything in this movie that I could think of that I could do to make better.
Right.
There's no, I could cut this scene, or I could do this, or I'd add this. I like your idea about the expansion separate from this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good way of doing it. Like, really, really good way. And you're right. Like, I mean, sure, I was like, yeah, but it could be samesies, but it's like, but that's kind of the point.
They can even do like a TV series, like Tales from the Crypt style.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. Like, just, and because it's different locations in different regions, you've got different lore that you could explore on that aspect. So yeah, there's a lot of really juicy aspects to it. It's kind of like,
it's juicy,
like arguing that well, we've got The Boys, what do we need Gen V for? Which I haven't seen yet, but I want to.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it.
I can't wait.
Oh,
I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. Oh, I think I just had a couple of things on the go, and I just kind of wanted to get through. Like, I got through.
Once I get through October, I'm gonna hit it up. I haven't even watched the animated series yet.
No, I haven't either.
No. That's supposed to be really good too.
No, I haven't.
Oh, The Boys.
Yeah, no, I know. You know what I like about The Boys, though, is that just now there are some people thinking that Homelander's the bad guy. You can tell they vote Republican.
Wait a minute, he's the bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, him crashing the plane full of people didn't give it away, eh? Well,
yeah. Also, the fact that he did it without giving zero fucks. Yeah. Like, he was literally like, no, fuck you. You guys are going to die.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit.
You're all dying.
Every single one of you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because, or like when he tells the girl to jump. Yeah, that's what good guys do. Oh, absolutely. You know what? You should jump.
Just end it.
Just literally, like, no cameras around. Yeah. He's literally just like, oh yeah, there's no one around. Yeah, just jump. Just fucking do this.
Do it.
Bullshit. You fucking pussy. Why don't you commit to something for once in your life?
I love
like,
Homelander.
Are you kidding? Although
that's such a good show.
I maintain though, because I've had the benefit of reading the book. The show is better.
Oh yeah.
I like the show a lot better. The show doesn't have a dripping disdain for superheroes like Garth Ennis does.
Yeah. In
all his books. Like fuck, he hates you get the impression that he hates Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
The entire comic book industry.
Yeah.
The irony is that his entire life has been made better because of comic books, but whatever. I mean, okay.
Yeah, it was his run on the Punisher that probably bought his house.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then of course, The Boys did the addition. You know.
Yeah.
Hitman, however, I think it was the Hitman or whatever. The fuck was that? It was a DC book.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
something Hitman. Anyway, but that's the one that launched his career. Also,
yeah, he did a lot of Vertigo.
Also, a comic book.
Yeah, so it was a comic book
For a guy that hates superheroes,
and he's still doing comic books.
But I think that's the point, is that he hates it's. Yeah, it's literally Hitman.
Oh yeah. No, he's this generation's Alan Moore.
Alan Moore has actually come out and said like he regrets his contributions to the fact that now there's like all these adults that might as well be children because they're idolizing cartoons and comic books and child things that are meant for children, and it's just like, well, at least you admit it, you're part of the problem, fucker. Yeah. But then again, I read Marvel Man.
That wasn't meant for children.
Well, yeah, where were you writing? What children?
What kind of childhood did you have?
What children were you writing?
I don't know what they do in England, buddy.
Like, I'd like to know.
Watchmen? Watchmen was made for children?
Yeah, exactly. All his entire books.
There's a blue penis, man.
Every single one of his. Not even the fucking nudity.
Not even the nudity.
That's the least offensive part of that book.
The entire thing.
Okay.
The subject matter alone.
It started with a dude getting thrown from a building.
Yeah.
And dying in the street, and blood splattered all over the place. But sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kids should read these. Like, fuck you, Alan Moore. It's like Robert Downey Jr. now being like, after 10 years doing Marvel movies, I just feel like I was stagnating as an actor.
Oh, tough. Wow.
You know, and I'm like, oh, did someone force you to do those fucking movies?
Yes. Last time I checked, your contract ended way before the last few movies.
In fact, if I remember correctly, if it wasn't for Iron Man in 2008, you wouldn't be in Oppenheimer in 2023.
Yeah, you have no career.
Because remember, you were a huge fucking liability, and then your buddy Jon Favreau went to bat for you, and they covered the insurance cost.
Yep.
So that you could be in this fucking movie that is now put an addition on your house in 3 different locations.
Houses.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could have said no at Spider-Man or at which one? His contract was done in Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Iron Man 3.
That's right. That's right. And then he extended it per movie after that.
Yep.
So then it was MCU Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then it was the Avengers movies. No, it was Civil War. It was Civil War.
He came back.
And then it was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's right. But Civil War was the one where he went as per movie.
Yeah.
And that's where
he made 4 times more than Chris Evans in his own movie.
And then every movie it was just So it's just like, okay.
Hard Knock Life. I hate it when they do that.
You know what? Like the one that has actually been the least is Chris Evans.
Oh, Chris Evans is great.
Chris Evans has said, because like this critique I thought was very interesting from Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. So Quentin Tarantino has said it's not the stars. Like they're not going to these movies to see the stars. The stars don't matter. They're going to see these movies for the characters.
The characters are the stars.
And he's saying it like derogatory, like it's a bad thing. And Evans was like, yeah, you're right. Like that's, but I mean, like to be fair, it took a lot of pressure off me once I realized that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sitting there going like, okay, like, yeah, but that's a huge knock. They're making it derogatory because now they're undermining the acting that these guys did in these movies, because they were all acting in these movies, whether like good or bad for whatever reason. Like Chris Evans' work, because I just rewatched the Captain America, the entire run. So Avengers, First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War, and all the Avengers movies to tell his succinct story.
Right.
Got something that works for you.
Oh,
I've been working on it.
Exciting.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much.
Okay.
Because I'm a procrastinator.
No,
I'm huge. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I really do. But I'm trying to work through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like trying not to say too much, but I'm really pumped about it.
I'm excited.
I'm pretty pumped, and it's potentially going to lead off into more things.
Will I be reading or watching?
You'll be watching. You'll be watching.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So, so I rewatch it, and I'm like, you forget how good these people are acting throughout these all these movies, right? But so like Evans was saying, like, yeah, it's kind of freeing, and like Tarantino's just like, oh, but it's for the characters, and it's like, okay, you're saying it like it's a bad thing. Okay, all right. Why am I watching James Bond movies? Am I watching it for the portrayal done by the actor and the director, or am I just watching it because I like James Bond?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Quentin Tarantino told me I shouldn't do that. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I should watch for the actors, right? The whole point of watching fucking movies is to forget that these guys are actors.
Exactly.
Okay? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've watched a Tom Cruise movie outside of Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, because those are Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, who might as well be Tom Cruise.
Right.
Okay, but in other movies of Tom Cruise, I go, oh, I forget. Sometimes you forget how good he's an actor because you watch the Mission Impossible movies, and it's not like he's really acting in them.
Yeah.
There are some bits in here and there, and you're like, yeah, he's good. But then you watch like, you watch like Jerry Maguire. You watch The Last Samurai.
Yep.
You watch The Edge of Tomorrow. You watch War of the Worlds, and you're just like, yeah, no, he is one of the greatest actors of all time, right? And yes, in those cases, I'm talking about movies that you would see because it's Tom Cruise,
right?
But like, I mean, Edge of Tomorrow, I didn't just see it because it was Tom Cruise. I saw it because it was a sci-fi Groundhog Day that had Tom Cruise, and I'm a Tom Cruise fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was Matt Damon,
it looked like an awesome movie, so I watched it.
I watched Elysium because of Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't know that I'll ever watch it again.
Could be worse.
It could be worse.
Could be
That's
Chappie.
right. Yeah, which I haven't seen. And
we should do a Neil Blomkamp trilogy.
See, it's tough because I don't want to watch 2 hours of the Ninja.
You start.
Okay. And I got into them. I'm not gonna lie.
The Ninja.
I got into them just like everyone else for like 5 minutes. Like the entire world was like, "What the fuck is with these two?"
It's a 2-hour music video.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
With a Hugh Jackman with a mullet.
Exactly. And you're like, "Did you lose a bet? Because you did this and Project 43. Did you not swallow someone's cum? God damn it, Chris. God damn it." But seriously, he had balls on his chin in that movie. And I've never even seen the movie, but I seen that clip, and I remember just being like, I watched the clip, and I was like, but the clip's not even that funny.
No.
Like, they took the penis nose hole in the throat joke from Deuce Bigelow, and that was funny. Gross as all.
Yeah.
As all.
But it's Deuce Bigelow.
It's still pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then I watched that, and I was like, yeah. It's sad to say Deuce Bigelow did it better. Okay. I guess that's my point, is it's a shitty fucking comedy movie, and I love both those movies.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you they're great movies. I'm going to tell you I love them, and they're fucking hilarious, but they're bad movies.
They're bad movies.
Okay? I mean, they star Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm sorry.
As the leading man.
As the leading man, yes.
Pick up some really good-looking chicks.
Remember when he was in The Animal?
Yeah.
Okay? He starred in that movie, too. It was fucking worse than those two. Still funny, but not as funny.
That's funny.
And also doesn't hold up. Whereas now I could watch both.
What was the third one? He did Deuce, Animal, and one other one he was a big star in.
Oh, the one where he switched the new girl? Not the new girl, but it was like he switched he was a high school chick.
He was a high school chick?
Yeah,
my turn.
Switched the body. So the high school chick switched into his. It was like Freaky Friday.
Oh yeah. That's right. Something like that.
Yeah. The hot chick.
The hot chick.
The hot chick is what it was.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that one was funnier than The Animal, though. I'll give him that one.
It was.
That was funnier than The Animal.
That's a Schneider trilogy right there.
Yeah, we're never doing that one. Never. We might do Deuce Bigelow 1 and 2, but that's it.
Oh man. Where are we here?
But yeah, so
God, it was a long time ago already.
But yeah, but I mean, again, like just like Fuck it, just do it like Michael Caine in Jaws: The Revenge.
Yeah.
Where he's literally like, yeah, I never watched that movie, but I look at the house that movie paid for every day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something that's similar to that. So if someone's like, dude, man, Iron Man, he could go, hey, look at the fucking shit I'm doing now because of that movie.
Yeah.
You know? Don't start shitting on it and pissing on it and being like, oh, he was stagnating as an actor. Maybe you weren't that good an actor to begin with.
I watched Oppenheimer, and he is RDJ in it. There's nothing super spectacular.
I knew it.
That makes him stand out. I mean, he'll get nominated for an award, absolutely.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he's still very much just, like, he's not putting on an accent or doing different mannerisms. He's just.
Is he eating while he's
there's an eating scene.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
He bounces between good roles and garbage roles. You don't hear him shitting on anything.
No.
I mean,
collecting his paycheck.
He was in the Green Hornet. Okay. He was awesome in the Green Hornet.
He was.
Like, he was so
I forgot about that movie.
He understood the assignment. Like, they said, you're going to be a goofy bad guy. And he went, oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And they're like, I mean, we're not really sure what to do. He's like, don't worry.
I got it.
I'll show up and you tell me if it's good or not. And they went, yo, this is good.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great. You want a costume? That's fucking funny. Did you ad-lib that line? I love it. I love it. Superhero name and everything. Like, yeah, no, but that's a fucking garbage movie. He was in it. You don't see him shitting all over it.
No.
He doesn't have to.
Okay. Yeah.
But I knew it was coming.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
I knew it was coming. The second that he was done and he was in something else, I knew he was going to do.
You're on kids' lunchboxes. Kids idolize you. Like, why?
He was so good. Then how come Dr. Dolittle bombed? Or no, it was Dr. Dolittle. That's right.
Bombed.
How come that one bombed? If he was so good.
Bombed.
Due Date was funny though.
It was funny, but it bombed.
Oh yeah, wow.
You can look at every movie he did in between an Iron Man movie, and it didn't do that well.
Even the one he did with Jamie Foxx, that Oscar bait movie.
Yeah.
Even that one, not only did it bomb.
Yep.
Wasn't the Oscar buzz that they were talking about.
Right.
They were talking more for him for Jamie Foxx than they were for him. Yeah. But it was still just like.
And then the same thing with the judge.
The judge.
Everyone was talking about Robert Duvall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. Your Iron Man career was fucking.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
It's not like you weren't doing anything besides Iron Man for those 10 years.
Yeah. And also, after your contract was up.
Yeah.
Remember when they wanted you for 9 and you said, no, I'll do 6? And then after 6, you're like, no, I'll do a little more. You could have stopped after that contract.
I'll get $60 million for this movie? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. You could have stopped after that contract and said, you could cast someone else. They do it. James Bond all the time.
What's the matter? You wanted to work with Christopher Nolan sooner? You would have been in Tenet.
Speaking of, there is actually on new talks that he might be directing the new James Bond movie.
Yeah. Well, that's been rumored for a while.
It's been rumored that he's wanted to do it for a while. This is the first time that there's talk about him actually.
Because he always wanted to do it, but he didn't want to pick up someone else's story.
Exactly.
Now with a relaunch.
Yeah, and also with the success of Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, the talk stalled with Tenet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hugely stalled with Tenet.
Yeah.
But even with Tenet, we were talking about, yeah, he should totally do a James Bond movie.
Oh yeah. 100%.
And if they can get him to do it, the only thing with him though is that I would like to see him do more than one though.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see them do more than 2.
When he did Batman, was he signed on for a trilogy or did he do one at a time?
I think, if I remember correctly, he signed for 2. Actually, you know what? No. I think
it was one at a time, right?
I think he was signed for 1, and then Begins was so huge that they locked him in for 2 more.
And then he made the deal with them saying, sure, but I'm going to do another movie in between each Batman.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly it. He did Begins, and they were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Okay.
We were all like, whoa.
Yeah, everyone. And I think you're right. I think after that, I'm almost certain that they went, okay, we got to get you for a second one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they weren't sure how it was going to be received. Because even like in they're saying expectations range from moderate to low. Because Batman and Robin was so abysmal. Just trying to see.
It's crazy to think there's only 8 years between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins.
Yeah. It doesn't really clarify.
It doesn't? Okay.
But I'm almost certain that you're right. Like, it was a one-shot deal. It was huge.
Yep.
And then they were like, can you do 2 more? And he was like, of course I can.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've already got a couple of ideas. But I want to do Inception.
Yep.
And they were like, we don't give a fuck. Do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And then in between that one and the other one, I want to do another movie.
Yeah.
What was in between Dark Knight and
in between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises was Inception.
Yeah, that's right.
In between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight was The Prestige.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The Prestige.
Yeah. Which wasn't even a Warner movie, so it's kind of weird that they let him do that.
Who cares, man? That movie's fucking amazing.
The Prestige. I remember not liking it.
I know. But I think it's because you watched The Illusionist first. And on top of that...
And right close together.
Yeah, because they came out at the same time. Like, they were within...
It was Armageddon, Deep Impact.
That's right.
All over.
That's
again.
right.
Yeah.
And I watched the reverse. So I did Prestige first, and I watched The Illusionist. And the other reason is because you're not as smart as me. I'm sorry to say, but, you're dumb.
Illusionist was good.
I disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. Prestige just it had like a million endings, twist after twist after twist after twist after twist. I was just like, oh, it's getting
When's
old.
the last time you've rewatched it, though?
I haven't watched it since it came out because I didn't like it.
Rewatch it.
I guess it. Yeah.
I mean, I've rewatched it. Probably like 4 or 5 times. Now, I'm not gonna. I'm joking about you being dumb and me being smarter than you. I'm totally joking about that.
Sure.
No.
I've been hearing it for 40 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I have low self-esteem and I like to make fun of people to make myself feel big. Okay.
Did it work?
No, that's why I'm apologizing. And I'm taking it back. I felt smaller than I normally do. But no, what it is like, well, first and foremost, you got to be in the mood for that type of movie.
Yeah.
Because I watched it once with Michelle, and halfway through the movie, I kind of looked over and I could tell she was just like, "Is this fucking thing over?" Right?
Yeah.
And but like, I mean, it is kind of a lackluster ending because, like, they tell you the second we tell you the trick, the magic's gone, and then you're like, oh, they actually kill the bird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, I'm not gatekeeping. I have.
You don't like the Prestige.
Oh, you like The Illusionist? But anyway, you know what I don't like about The Illusionist is I don't think Jessica Biel's that great of an actress, and that role could have been so much better with a different actress.
Okay,
I get why she was in it. Yeah, like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Hot around that time, yeah.
I don't hate Jessica Biel. I don't like. I mean, obviously she's a better actress than I am because
you're a man.
Well, just in general, but also she's doing it for a living.
Yeah,
right. And not every actress has to be the best, right? And also that's subjective anyway. I mean, some people tell you that Robert Downey Jr. is the greatest actor of our generation. I disagree.
I disagree too.
I think he's really, really good.
Yeah.
At being Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. And fitting that into every movie. Okay.
I don't really watch too many Daniel Day-Lewis movies, but I'll tell you, that's the best actor of this generation.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't always watch Daniel Day-Lewis movies, but when I do, I'm mesmerized. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. I thought Gangs of New York was incredible.
It's my favorite Scorsese film.
Claire Danes is another example.
Yep.
I love Claire Danes. Not a good enough actress to be in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. She's good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a level that she can't get to.
Right.
That's fine. Okay. I mean, I'm not looking at Jason Segel and saying you need to be the leading man in Gangs of New York. You know. And there's a reason why Leonardo DiCaprio is still getting these leading man roles is because whether or not it's hard for me to watch his movies, I can't deny that he's not an incredibly good actor.
His new movie looks great, though.
It looks incredible. It almost feels like a course correction.
Yeah.
Like they want you to forget a bunch of things about him. One of the things I thought was interesting, though, is that of all the trailers, the most recent one is the most white-centric version of this trailer I've ever seen.
Really?
I think I saw 4 indigenous people.
Yeah.
And one of them was the lead woman twice.
Does that count?
And I was like, I said that to Michelle. I was like, I've never seen this trailer with so many white people. Like, it's almost like they're trying to sell. Like, they realized that selling it to the indigenous crowd, white people were like, "What? We're the bad guys in this movie?" Yeah, you are.
Cut a new trailer. Cut a new trailer.
Historically speaking, we are.
Yeah.
We are. Okay.
Yeah.
But regardless, politics aside.
Yep.
But they realized, I don't know how many white people are going to see this movie, so we may want to make it different so that we get them in the door.
Mm-hmm.
But he might want to release it on Netflix, like The Gangster, or whatever. The Irish Gangster, the Irishman.
The Irishman.
The Irishman. That's what it was. Yeah.
The movie that's so long they actually gave you points of where the stops to play it like episodes.
I never watched it.
I never did either.
I was like, you know what? I like Martin Scorsese, but A, that's too long.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours and 40 minutes.
And B, like I heard a lot of the weird, like they did the aging stuff and like.
And it looks awful.
A, it looks awful. B, we're talking like an 80-year-old and a 90-year-old Al Pacino.
Yeah, playing like 30-year-old characters.
Trying to play like late 40s, mid 40s.
Yeah.
Like no, you're geriatric.
Mm-hmm.
You were geriatric in Meet the Fockers. Okay.
The only reason I really want to see it is that I got Joe Pesci to come back.
Dude, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, it looks incredible. And I actually am intrigued because I think, like, I remember he said in an interview, he said originally we were approaching it from the white guy's point of view.
Yeah.
And then we were like, that's not the story.
No.
We have to approach it from the indigenous point of view. And then I was like, yeah, I have to see this 100%. Movie now. I want to see this movie. Yeah. We're not going to see it in the theater, but I'm definitely going to see that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like Oppenheimer, where I'm like,
I'm more excited for this than I was Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, I wasn't excited in the sense, like, I was excited in the sense that it was like a Nolan movie that actually looked really good.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how they handle something as horrifying as the dude that makes the atomic bomb or the nuclear bomb. But at the same time, there was no way I was seeing it in the theater.
It was all right.
Because there's a 2-hour talking flick.
Yeah.
There's no fucking.
Yeah, well, it's all talking.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do that for Kevin Smith. Okay.
Yeah.
Because those are 2-hour talking flicks. I'll do that, but those are also hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, even though I haven't seen the third Clerks yet. I know. As soon as I do, we'll do a trilogy.
We gotta do a Clerks trilogy.
We'll do definitely. Fuck.
Oh man, Clerks trilogy.
I have a feeling though that it's gonna be, for me, the order will be 2, 1, 3. That's what I think my order is gonna be. Yours is probably 1, 2, 3.
No, 2. I like 2 more.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. 2, 3 is a very different movie, though.
It has to be. It absolutely has to be. Considering it's.
I watched 3. It's not very comedic. It's very dramatic.
Oh.
And that's what makes it really different.
Interesting.
It's very dramatic, and it's but it's relatable, right? Because they're our age. They're in their 40s now in this, so it's.
That's why I liked 2 so much.
Yeah, because we were that age at that time.
That's right.
So it was relatable then.
We were in similar type jobs at that point. So it was just like, okay.
Yeah. So entertainment-wise, with Clerks 3, it's not as entertaining, but it's also a very important, like,
okay,
especially for guys our age.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I was looking forward to it. It was just one of those where it kind of happened when bunch of things were happening at the same time. So it's kind of like you got to pick your battles, so to speak, right?
Oh,
so, but it was but then again, it was also one of those things where it's like, but I can always watch it later.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's not like, oh no, it's out forever.
I watched it on the big screen because it came in for one night.
Right. Yeah. That's right. And that's where I missed it there. It's not like when Disney used to do the vault things.
Yeah.
Where like, if you didn't get this movie now, it goes back to the vault. And then you never know when it's coming out. You're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And they do those big plastic books for the video cassettes.
I don't know why they didn't call Disney Plus the vault.
You know what? They are dumb.
Yeah.
They're dumb. That's why.
Pay this now and enter the vault.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, chills.
That was it. That was it.
Because they actually showed the fucking vault opening up and everything. Oh, fuck. It was great. It's great. Okay, so we covered The Cabin.
We did.
Great movie. And we could still ramble on for a bit. Are you guys going anywhere? There's no one here. There's no one here.
Mr. M went to sleep.
But I don't know. Like, getting back to, like I said, like I think, what was it? Elizabeth Olsen has recently came out and said she probably would never do another one of these movies.
Yeah.
And said something like she didn't like the way her character turned out or whatever.
And so, see, that's okay to me because she's talking about not being happy with the character.
Which, okay, is fine, but at the same time,
I can get that because I mean she was straight up the villain in Doctor Strange.
Right? Was she a good guy in Avengers Disassembled? Was she a good guy then?
Yeah.
Oh. Weird.
That's crazy, right?
Huh.
How actors get these jobs without knowing everything that happens in the comics.
That part, like, okay, all jokes aside, I'm like, obviously I'm trying to be a dick towards you, but like for her,
it failed.
Not really, because you were like, yeah,
but
I mean, like, I get the. If you had no idea about the character and your only version was the MCU character, then I understand.
Right.
I understand completely where you're coming from. But she didn't have to do the movie.
No.
She could have said, could we do something different?
Yeah.
You know? And
her contract's long over now, too.
Oh, yeah. Also, in the movie's defense, they do bring her to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have normal human beings seeing her do all these things.
Right.
It's only other heroes or people that are related to the heroes. And at the end of the movie, she does kill herself, or stops herself.
Yeah.
Right. And they say right from the end of WandaVision, they tell you right away she's infected by the Darkhold. So it's not,
which is disappointing considering the character arc in WandaVision.
Yeah, no, I
like she went through a big arc in WandaVision.
But in WandaVision, at the end of the movie, or at the end of the show, even I said this in our Camcast, where it was like, yeah, but it was kind of weird that she's like, well, they looked at me like I was a monster, and it's like you were the fucking you're the bad guy. Yeah. Like Agatha, yeah, she's the bad guy.
She's the bad guy.
But
you're
also a bad guy.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you got a mental health issue.
Look, you let them go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
You took away their life for how many months?
Couldn't you have made it so they didn't know, like they weren't aware of this, so that when they wake up, they're just like, "Oh, wait, what? Yeah. What's going on?"
Exactly.
How did that...
rather than being locked in their body
and knowing that it's because of you, like that's worse.
That's horrible.
Okay. So that's worse than what happened. Like what happened in Mouth of Madness. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's horrible. But I'm looking at that more like this is just the combination of your fucking your grief, the loss of that fake life that you created.
Yep.
That's also tainted by the Darkhold. And then underneath all of that is the real Wanda. In WandaVision, it's just she went nuts because Vision died.
Yeah.
Okay. Which again, I get it's grief, but there was no like, maybe we'll make them forget. Maybe we won't make them feel anything about this. Maybe they'll just wake up and go, huh. Well, at least I'm still.
She wanted them to suffer.
Exactly. And then to be incredulous, like, but I mean, I stopped Agatha. I saved you guys. And they're like, you saved us from you. Thanks. But also,
appreciate it.
If nobody at Shield didn't show up, we'd probably still your puppets.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Thanks. Sorry about your fake kids and your fake life, but I had a real life. You know, like so. If I was gonna be pissed, I'd be more pissed about WandaVision than Mouth of Madness. Okay, but also at the end, they did change it so she could come back as a good person.
Yeah,
they could totally bring her back.
And it happened in the comics, so why not again?
Yeah, so, you know.
I mean, keep her hidden away, locked away.
Yeah.
Make her the reason that, like, Kang has stopped.
And maybe even have her part and parcel why the new version of these characters are out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, start recast. Like, why can't we recast? Like, we really can't recast any of these characters. Like, don't get me wrong. I read a report. Somebody was already shitting on Captain America 4, where they were basically just like, it's a retread of the first one because it's where does Captain America fit in the world?
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, well, that's not necessarily a retread of the first one.
Yeah.
That's more of a retread of the second one, Winter Soldier, where he's trying to fit him. It's like
in a modern world. Yeah.
Avengers and Winter Soldier are it's basically Steve trying to readjust and even like, oh, is Captain America really necessary for this world? And then, of course, you get the stealth Winter Soldier suit, and you're just like, technically not really. And then by the end, it stars and stripes. And it's like, yeah, but we're talking about a Black Captain America. So, yeah, you're going to have a story of how does he fit his version of Captain America into this world if you didn't watch Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
You kind of know.
Yeah.
Based off of that.
But I'm pretty pumped about that one. I think that one's got a lot of promise.
Yeah.
That's a lot of promise. But we'll see. See how that one works.
Who's the villain in it? I remember being excited for the villain.
Shit.
Yeah, they got... Oh, man. They keep changing the title on it, too. It's like a third title now.
Yeah, and he's got like 4... Oh, Brave New World is the most recent one.
Okay.
He's got like 4 suits in it, too.
Sam Wilson. Well, okay, so... Oh, right. Seth Rollins is in this.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And right, Betty Ross is coming back.
Oh, they're doing Falcon again, too. Cool. I forgot about that. The leader, Samuel Stern.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's
and
what it was.
Isaiah Bradley's in it, too.
So we got pretty
Sabra,
much everyone from Hulk except Hulk in this.
Sabra's in it. Well, Thunderbolt Ross is going to be in it just for obvious reasons, which I'm fine with because he's been there. Although Liv Tyler coming back is crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Hugo Weaving, what?
Oh! Scotia Rockmore from the Mini Project. Awesome.
Why the hell is Hugo Weaving in this list?
Wait, where are you seeing that?
On
IMDb?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, maybe it's one of those flashback scenes.
Maybe.
Because, yeah, he definitely 100% said he would not be in any Marvel movie ever again.
Kobe Lopez.
Rosa Salazar is in it, too?
Oh, I love Rosa Salazar.
God damn it. Emily Van Camp, too? Huh.
This is a stacked cast.
It is a stacked cast. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. It's like... Are they doing Thunderbolt Ross? And then I was like, oh, right, because Harrison Ford. They went, hey, William Hurt passed away at the age of 80. That'd be great. We should replace him with an 88-year-old or whatever he is. But like, he's not going to have a mustache.
He's not going to have a mustache.
Why would he do? He should.
It's just, why would you hire a guy that old to play a character going into the future? He's going to get a couple movies in and, well, sadly, pass away. I mean...
I honestly don't know. I have no idea.
That's weird casting.
But I am pretty. You know what? It's funny. I do feel like. So this is what, phase 5?
It's 5 now.
And 5 is ending with.
4 is incredibly forgettable.
When is 5 ending? Which movie is it ending on? Is it ending on the Marvels?
No, it just started.
Oh, yeah, it started with Ant-Man. That's right.
Yeah.
Quantumania. Okay.
So,
but
I don't know, like, is this going right to
but see, the other thing is like
Wars
now we're not even sure. Like the Kang Dynasty might not be the next Marvel, like the Avengers movie.
Yeah,
because I heard that they might switch so that Secret Avengers is going to be first because the whole Jonathan Majors bullshit.
Right.
But that's not even set in stone. It honestly feels like they're basically just doing this. We're not going to talk about it, and then it's going to go to court.
Yep.
And then however,
and then we'll see.
However it plays out.
See how it plays out.
Oh yeah, that's right. It also got pushed. That's right. So 2026 too. That's right. So we got pushed to 2026 and 2027 for. Which okay, fine. Like I mean, between that and
well, they pushed everything because of the strikes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe stop announcing 10 years worth of movies at a convention with all the dates.
Yeah, like they're not in a position where they can do that now.
No.
Because, well, first of all, because nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
We're at that point after Endgame.
Yep.
You know, like sure, COVID was a big hit on it. But they were already talking about TV shows being the primary move for Phase 4. And even before COVID, you and I were like, really?
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm going to be very selective. I won't be watching everything anymore.
And even afterwards, like we're like, yeah, okay, like COVID and all this, but like if it wasn't for COVID, I don't know how many of those shows I would have watched all the way through.
Yeah.
WandaVision and Loki for sure.
I would have watched those two for sure. I would have watched Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I would have watched it. I don't know that I would have finished it.
It's not as good as I was hoping it would be.
I don't know that I would have finished it. I would have checked out Hawkeye regardless.
Hawkeye would definitely watch.
It was 100%.
Even before 100%, I was watching that all the way.
Even before the Kingpin shit was released, I was like, I'm definitely gonna watch it because I wanted to see more of that character. Plus, I wanted to see Florence Pugh, more of her character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I'm already forgetting what TV shows are out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, I wouldn't have watched. Actually, that's not true because they would have linked Miss Marvel to the Marvels, so I would have watched that regardless.
I probably wouldn't have watched it as soon as I did.
No, I would not have watched it as soon as I did. I would have watched it closer.
I'm happy I watched it though. I enjoyed it.
I am too. Like it would have been one of those where I wouldn't have watched it right away, and then when I did watch it, I'd have been like, it would have been the same thing though. I would have said she's the best part. And she was the only reason why I continued watching.
She's funny. She's cute. I enjoyed watching that.
I still would have watched Moon Knight.
I would have, and I still would have been disappointed.
I should have known right away when I saw that first version of the bandage suit.
Forgot that Moon Knight was a thing again.
Yeah.
You reminded me.
Yeah. But even even without COVID, even if COVID wasn't a thing, could you imagine how much shit? Because it was still Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
It was still Black Widow.
Yep.
It was still, what else was in the theater or was supposed to be in the theater?
That's
Eternals.
Well, yeah. That went to the theater.
Well, so did Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi did. But I don't think
Black Widow was supposed to.
It was supposed to, and it got pulled.
But because of COVID.
And I think Shang-Chi had half the length in the theater that was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it was one of those where they were like, no more COVID!
Yeah, woo!
And then
it's back!
Theater, and then they're like, no, actually, there was always COVID.
Put a Disney Plus.
It never left.
Shang-Chi has gone to the vault.
Yeah. That's really disappointing. There's no word on a Shang-Chi 2 right now. They say it's still coming, but there's no time frame, and you're like, okay, that tells me that it's not coming.
You guys got like so much on the cards.
He's gonna pop up in one of the Avengers movies. Is that all he's gonna do now?
Yep.
But even he said, like in an interview, he said, like, no, I'm still a part of it. But I mean, like, what's he gonna say?
How?
What is he gonna say? Like, I don't know.
Give him a TV show at least. You can't fit him in the movie schedule.
I maybe at this point because of Barbie, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, maybe.
Like he's doing pretty well for himself regardless.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it's just one of those, like, let me know.
Yep.
Let me know when you're ready. Just don't interfere with my other projects. Don't get mad that I'm doing other movies. Because I think that's one of the things that, actually, no, because all those actors did other movies in between.
They all did.
It was just whenever they could fit them in.
It was really, the only time it was like stupid and they couldn't really do anything was both Avengers back to back.
That's right, yeah. Especially because a lot of them were coming off of their own movie into Avengers Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, okay, I can fucking breathe now. You know, so they're like, even now, like even with Tom Holland, when you're just like,
like Holland had no breaks.
Think about
all the way through.
It was Civil War.
Yep.
It was Spider-Man.
Yep.
It was Spider-Man. Then it was Avengers: Infinity War.
Yep. And then it was
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yep.
No, then it was Endgame. Then it was Far From Home, and then it was No Way Home.
Yeah. Yeah. So nonstop.
Yeah.
Same with Scarlett.
Mm-hmm.
Nonstop all the way through.
She was nonstop right from the beginning.
Yep.
Like right from Avengers. No, Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, that's right. And then Avengers.
So it was 2 years there in between. And then Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's right. She was a big part of Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Then Age of Ultron.
Civil War.
Yep. And then both Avengers movies.
Yep.
And then that was it until
Black Widow.
Black Widow. She had a nice little break in between that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a long stretch.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
She was really in the MCU as long as Robert Downey Jr. then.
Yes. No. Like he
was done at Endgame, but she kept going with Black Widow.
Right, yeah.
So he had a 2-year start on her with Iron Man 1 and 2.
That's right, but ultimately,
so that's pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And she the only reason why, like, she was shitting on it too was just how she was treated in her own movie.
Yeah.
She got fucked.
Oh, she got fucked.
She got fucked hard.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that she called them out and said, no, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Took them to court.
Fucking told me like we were all set to go to movie, and I took a back end deal, and then all of a sudden you put my fucking movie on straight to video.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourselves. And then they worked out the deal because she took them to court.
Yeah.
Like she actually had to take them to court, and then they were like, "Oh, you're serious? We actually don't have a case."
Mm-hmm.
How much? I don't know. What I'm owed?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I wonder how much that would have made if it went to theaters.
I think it would have done really well.
I do too.
Because how many people were looking for a Black Widow movie from the beginning?
Right.
Like Michelle has been saying, she was the only disappointing thing she had about that movie was they didn't show Budapest. She wanted to see Budapest.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't really. But then again, she's like one person. Imagine how many more people, how many women alone. Like Captain Marvel did $1 billion.
Mm-hmm. It still blows my mind that Captain Marvel did more than Wonder Woman.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. Well, it was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like Wonder Woman is a better movie.
Oh yeah.
Period. Like top to bottom, hands down, better movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, it's.
So I feel like Captain Marvel will have a better sequel.
Yeah, but not by much.
Because 84 was.
Not by much. But I don't know. Like I said in our Camcast with Black Widow, it should have been the end of. It should have been her third movie of a trilogy.
Yeah. And
whatever rationale they had for not doing it, like, oh, girls don't buy action figures. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Especially if they're Black Widow toys. Fuck you. They don't buy.
Bet they will.
Oh, fuck you. They don't. Okay.
License that shit out to fucking Mattel. I have a Black Widow Barbie.
Damn. The whole thing. You could have had Black Widow Barbie.
Yep.
You could have had Black Widow action figures.
Yep.
You could have had Black Widow fucking statues.
Mm-hmm.
That shit would have been merchandised if they merchandised it just like every other character.
Yep.
Fuck you! It wouldn't have made money. It would have made so much money.
You have a black suit, have a white suit.
How many girls went to the movies with their dads or uncles or whatever and was like, "I want to be Black Widow"? Why wouldn't you?
Yep.
There's dudes that sat in there and they're like, I kind of want to be Black Widow. I don't want to tell anybody because it's raises questions. A little embarrassing here. There's things about me now that I got to answer. But straight up.
I'm just jealous of how close she gets to be with Jeremy Renner all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Wait.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna.
I gotta go.
Stop talking. I would do things to her, boy, oh boy. But yeah, like it blows my mind. Like it's just one of those where you're like you had a license to print money, and you were printing money, and you left money on the table.
Yeah.
Like fuck, really.
Yeah.
And then now you think about how much more impactful would have been the Black Widow movie, the one she died in, or the franchise ended on. Like that was the third movie.
Yeah,
that would have been one of those like, oh, you, because then you knew how her story ended in Endgame, and you were just like, oh, perfect, fucking perfect. But instead, they did it that way, and yeah, like
so weird.
And the other part too was instead of course correcting after Wonder Woman, they could have ate shit and said, okay, well, Wonder Woman made like almost 700 million.
Yep.
I mean, fuck. They didn't have to do an origin flick at all, but they could have. They could have done that.
Yep.
Then they could have had like in between Avengers movies, just like every other character had, right? You could have even have brought in Clint, and it could have been a buddy comedy for one of those movies.
That would have been awesome.
You know, hell, in the first one, you could have had an origin flick for her, and the first time they met and had the Budapest sequence.
Yep.
And then lead into a buddy comedy for the sequel, right? Because it's not like he wasn't doing anything. And I'm not going to tell you that Hawkeye would have anchored his own movie, because that would have been a lie.
Yep.
That would have bombed. I don't know what it would have bombed, but it would have been like Doctor Strange 1 numbers, where it would have made money, but not enough.
What they did with Hawkeye was perfect.
They did, yeah, but he should have factored in a few more movies, and I think, Black Widow should have had her own franchise.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Like,
there's no reason it took them.
Especially because you look at the marketing they did for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And you're like, you couldn't have done that for Black Widow.
Yeah. 10 years, right? What was 2018 was Captain Marvel?
Yeah, you couldn't have done that.
Took Marvel Studios a decade to have a woman-led film.
And the only reason why they did it was because Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman came out and smashed it, and they went, oh, hold my beer. But they could have done it. They should have done it.
Should have done it.
Black Widow.
Yep.
They could have had a 1-2 punch. You had Black Widow.
Yep.
2018, 2019, Captain Marvel, and then that's like fucking $1 billion movie here, followed by another $1 billion movie here, sandwiched in between a bunch of $1 billion Avengers movies and Captain America, Iron Man movies. Like fuck. But girls don't buy toys.
Right. That's why Barbie's the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah. That's why Barbies have still sold.
Yeah.
You know, no one's not buying Barbies.
Yeah.
They're still selling them.
60.
In fact, they're selling them in a variety of different colors.
Yeah.
Skin shades, whatever you want to call them. Hairstyles. You've got fucking rich Barbie, poor Barbie, whore Barbie, jock Barbie, the fool Barbie.
Hobie Barbie.
Hobie Barbie. Yeah, you've got fucking all this horse shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Geek Pantsers.
That was a good one. That was a good rant.
For those of you that tuned in for the entire time, which was nobody, thank you.
Mr. M was here.
For the entire time, I said.
Oh, the entire time.
I said. And yes, Mr. M was here. But we also, you guys watch when you can, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, that works.
Yep. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. For those of you who watch us on your own time and you haven't seen The Cabin in the Woods, fucking watch The Cabin in the Woods. Like, oh my God, just watch it.
Is this the month to do it if you haven't seen it?
But maybe after we spoil it, give it a couple of days before you watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you know what? No. To be honest, I think even because I've watched it enough times where I shouldn't be enjoying it as much as I am, and I'm still just, it's not quite like the first time, but it's still just like, oh, yes.
Yeah, we spoiled it, but the carnage you see on the screen is nothing. It'll blow your mind.
You have to watch it.
Yeah.
When we do our next Camcast, we'll actually tell you spoilers in advance. We normally do. This time we didn't.
Yeah, but we usually talk about newer movies too. I mean, this is...
Yeah, if you haven't seen it now, that's on you.
It's 12 years old now.
Yeah, it's on you.
In fact, all our movies are pretty old that we're talking about.
Especially, I think The Faculty is the oldest.
Faculty would be the oldest, yeah. 98.
I was going to say 98. Like, holy fuck. Holy fuck.
Man.
But again, as always, we love and appreciate the support you give us.
Mm-hmm.
And you can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on Instagram. You can check us out on SoundCloud, Apple and Google Podcasts, and Spotify and Audible.
Wow.
And you can check Chris Fedek out on geekpantsmedia.com.
Hells yeah. That was good. You even left X out.
Yeah.
You nailed
Fuck
it.
that. Fuck Twitter. Hold on. You said X, right?
Yeah.
Don't dead name Twitter. The irony is that he dead names his trans daughter.
What?
He has a trans daughter, and he calls her by her dead name. So her birth name.
I didn't even know he had another daughter. I thought he had just said that one with the weird letters or something.
Well, he's got like 4. He's got
that many kids?
He's got 3 with that
one.
Man. With Grimes. He's got 3 with Grimes. Although, surprisingly enough, she's taken him to court for custody. Weird.
Oh, weird.
At least that's what I've heard. I don't know for sure, but that's what I've heard. But he does also have, I don't know who this other one is with, but trans, like she's said, like.
So born a boy.
Yep.
Now a woman.
Yeah, so they
calls her by the original boy name.
That's right, and for them they call it they say dead naming.
The dead naming. Yeah.
Which whatever, but yeah. So don't dead name Twitter. And there's been tweets like that where like he'll say X or whatever, and they're just like, hey, don't dead name Twitter. Also, who the fuck are you to tell me to call it by another name?
Yeah.
You know, it's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Although the last thing I'll say before we sign off is apparently the banks are now looking at possibly taking Twitter away from him.
Nice.
Because it's not even worth the paper that the deal is printed on. I mean, he never wanted to buy it in the first place.
No.
All he wanted to do was say, hey, I want to buy it. And then when the stocks rose, he was going to sell very, very high, and then that was it. That was the whole purpose, was just so he could sell a bunch of stocks and make a shitload more money.
Everything's stupid, so it sells high.
Well, no, the best part is that the deal was, they were pretty much like, no, you can't back out of this deal. Like, that's literally the whole point of this. You can't back out. And he's just like, but I'm Elon Musk. And they're like, no, you have to buy it. So then he was like, fuck, I'll buy it.
I guess I'll buy it. Ugh. And I only have 100 billion left.
But self-made billionaire.
Self-made billionaire. Yeah.
Sorry, self-made billionaire.
Yeah. Right.
Whose parents owned a diamond mine in South Africa. Blood diamond mine, I think, is the correct term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
On the backs of slaves. But hey, self-made men, just like Donald Trump. Anyway, Geek Pantsers, you guys have a great night, and we love you so much, and take care, and stay safe.
And boop, boop, doop, boop.
Doot, doot.
These pancakes are delicious.